Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis is ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good evening. Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in good spirits, because another day above the dirt is always a blessing. We got some breaking news. We got some things we have got to get into. And again, oh my Lord. I really am hoping that what I'm feeling in my gut now, I really am hoping that I'm wrong. Like, real talk, I really am hoping that I am wrong. But we will see what's going on. We got quite a bit to talk about. There's quite a bit to get into a conversation about. Well, one main thing, right? Has been a whole lot of development lately. But this is something that I think maybe we are taking a turn for the worse. Maybe. But we'll see. So before we get into everything, do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Crush it, do it to do. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. If you are watching on these other platforms, make sure you hit that follow button. Follow, please, and thank you. Okay, I'm on YouTube. I'm on Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, Rumble, Twitch, Kick. Okay, so make sure you are following on those platforms, please. And thank you. Don't forget to subscribe here on my YouTube channel, right here on my YouTube channel. Go to my second channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Subscribe over there. Hit the notification bell. Set it to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because it is random. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. And, of course, check out PascalMerch.com. And, of course, don't forget, after you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that notification bell so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because, honestly, it is random. Okay? All right, guys, we got to get into this conversation. And I don't think this is a conversation that a lot of us are going to be again, like I said, I feel like we are going down the route of something that I didn't want us to go down. And the way that we're seeing the family react, because as you see the title up above or down below, wherever you're watching the show right here, you clearly see, and I'm sure you guys have already seen the video, but if you haven't, don't worry, we are going to watch it here very shortly. But one thing is for sure, the family has made another video. Yes, guys, they made another video, a whole other one. And it's very revealing. To me, it's very revealing. Or maybe not very revealing, but it gives us some ideas of what their mindset is at. That maybe they think something that hasn't been confirmed yet, but at the same time, God only knows. So before we get into us thinking about all this stuff, ruminating, waxing conspiracy, waxing speculation and all that, let's see the video for itself. And don't worry, I will play this again for those of y'all who are kind of getting late to the party. I know a lot of y'all already seen this, already know about this, because this whole thing dropped like about 2 hours ago or so. But still, I will play it again for everyone that shows up a little late to the party. But let's take a look at and a listen to this, because there's a lot being said here.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
First off, let me just repeat that again. I'm going to play it again for you guys to hear this, okay? I'm going to play it one more time, uninterrupted, and then we're going to break it down, okay? Bit by bit. So here it goes one more time.
We received your message, and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
This is all they say. Now, let's break this down, shall we? I think this is what we're all here for, right? To break this down and have this conversation, okay? So, first off, breaking news, all right? The family speaks out again. They're clearly pleading to the abductor, or who they believe is the abductor, to please return Mama, right? But let's break this down, because to me, it sounds like something else. To me, it sounds like something happened, and not in the way, and not in a good way.
We received your message, and we understand.
There it is. We received your message, and we understand. So to me, I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, guys. But the way it sounds like to me is whatever was said in this letter, they're basically saying that she's gone. Here's the other thing, too. Remember that the second letter came after they didn't meet deadline number 1. Remember, they said that in the ransom letter, the first ransom letter, they said, the abductor said, "We are not here to talk. We will not talk. You have 5 p.m. Thursday. 5 p.m. Thursday. Right? Or something real bad is going to happen after Thursday." But then that's the other thing too, because it makes you wonder what else are they going to do on Monday? What else are they going to do on Monday? Okay. Yes, I know that Brian Enton posted something. We're going to get all into that, guys. But first things first, we're 7 minutes into the show. Let's get to the origin story first. And then we'll do all that extra stuff here in just a little bit, okay? One thing at a time. Let's break this down. Let's break down this video. First and foremost, they said, "We understand. We understand. We heard you. We understand." What the hell does that mean? Right? Because again, remember, first letter, according to Harvey Levin, TMZ's Harvey Levin, he said that there's no room for negotiation or talks. You either you have till 5 p.m. on Thursday, and then apparently there's a second deadline on Monday at 2 p.m. But what actually is going on at 2 p.m. on Monday? What could that be? If she's already gone, let's just say that. If she's already gone after they didn't meet deadline number 1 for the 5 p.m. deadline on Thursday, then what other devastating thing could they do to her if she's already gone? You get what I'm saying? Now, they could say, like, we're going to discard her and you'll never see her body again. That's possible too, but it seems weird and strange, right? Because, you want that leverage. You want that leverage, right? You want that leverage first and foremost if you are that particular abductor, right? So that's something that I'm trying to understand as well, right? So something doesn't make any sense. So that's the thing that doesn't make any sense, right? That's one thing that's very strange. Now, this is all I'm saying is it just seems strange. If you really want that crypto money, if you really want that Bitcoin, you'd make sure she stays alive, right? But let's continue. Don't worry, I'm going to play it again. I'll play it again for you guys. But everybody's like, "Oh, Brian Enton and this and this and the Skyview and blah, blah, blah." We're going to get to all of that, guys. First things first, we just got started 10 minutes in. Okay, let's get into this and let's break this down real quick. And we'll get through all the other stuff because I know there's a lot of breaking stuff going on, breaking news stuff that's going on. All right. But again, that's the thing. What's the second deadline for? if they've already unalived her, if that is the case, what is deadline number 2 on Monday? What's that then? Right? But let's continue. They said, we understand, right?
We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her.
Okay. They said, please return our mother. That doesn't sound, when you say, please return our mother, that the first part doesn't mean that to me, that doesn't give me the vibe that she's still alive. First things first, that she's gone. She has passed on. She's passed. This is what I'm gathering. Because the last part is so that we can celebrate with her. It's the please return our mother as if now it is a body that does not contain a soul, right? It's like, please return the body to us so that we can celebrate with her. And in my mind, I was like, does that mean it's her birthday? Is her birthday coming up or something of that sort? So that seems weird. That sounds like a celebration of life, which is what you do when you want to say goodbye to somebody that you love, right? You do the funeral, you do X, Y, and Z. However you say goodbye to that person that you freaking love, right? Especially your mama. Celebration of life, so we can celebrate with her, right? So part 1, we got you. Like, we understand. We've heard you and we understand. Part 2, please return her to us so that we can celebrate with her, right? Let's continue.
This is the only way we will have peace.
Boom. This is the only way we will have peace. This has nothing to do. Now they're trying to recover her remains. I hate to say it like that. I don't want to say anything bad. I mean, I hope, okay? I hope. I mean, you never know. Maybe this is all code words. Okay, I know everybody's already dissecting the other, the first one of them together and being like, "Oh, don't you see? It's Silence of the Lambs." Which, by the way, a lot of y'all have too much time on your hands, but here it is. To me, I don't hear code words here. You see what I'm saying? I don't think that they would be going. Like, I don't think that they would say this. They'd be like, please, we are trying to reach out with, we're trying to reach out to you guys. We are trying to get our mom. Please bring her home. They would say, bring her home. We're trying to get mama. This second video, they would still address mama at this moment. Mom, stay strong. If you're listening, if you see this video, please stay strong. That's exactly what they did in the first video, did they not? We love you. You are a light. Do not give up. Right? We are trying to get to you, Mom. This time, nothing like that. Please return her to us so that we can celebrate with her, so that we have peace of mind, so that we can have some peace. So something in that letter that they received yesterday, unless they received another one, unless they received a third message, a third note from the abductor, either way, they received something in that letter that gave them the idea that she is no longer breathing. Now, maybe mama passed because of too much stress. Remember, she had a bad heart. She had cardiac issues, right? She had heart issues. She needed her, medicine, etc., right? So she may have passed away due to the stress and the trauma of everything going on. It's been what? We are in the 7th day, for Christ's sakes. So maybe it's because of lack of care, lack of medication. That's why she passed away. It could also be what happened to her on her way out of the house, right? When she was attacked and abducted. Maybe when she got hit or whatever the accident happened, made things worse for her. God only knows, right? But this, to me, is them trying everything they can to retrieve her remains.
This is very valuable to us.
This is very valuable to us. This is not them saying, please bring her home. Please, we want to talk to our mama. You know, we don't see a poem written by Annie right now. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just saying we don't see any of this being directed to mama at all. Now they're trying to retrieve her remains. They're trying to retrieve her body. That's how I'm seeing it right now. Until I hear anything otherwise, this sounds so heartbreaking and so morbid, right? But the fact that they're like, please return her to us, as if her soul isn't even there anymore. Now it's just a body. Does that make sense? So that they can celebrate and so that they can have peace. And now, of course, they're saying they're willing to pay whatever they need so that they can get their mother's remains home.
And we will pay.
It hurts. It hurts to watch Savannah. Like I hate to. It hurts to watch Savannah, like just to see the look on her face. You know what I mean? She is going through it. All of them are going through it for sure. But this is just insane. Okay. Now I know that there's, you know, everybody and their mama is sending things and going, Pascal, Fox News. We're you know, I understand that there's a lot and a lot of people are talking about that for sure. We are going to get to that. I'm going to try to get that as quickly as I can. But again, I'm going to play that video one more time without interruption, because I just want you guys to hear it one more time. Okay. And you tell me what you have assessed from this video.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Now, here's the thing. Maybe they read into something that they misunderstood, and maybe they're saying that she's gone. They just computed saying she's gone. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe not. I don't know. But something very strange is going on. But I don't think it's anything good is going on. Let me just say that too. Okay. But, you know, let me show you guys. This is what they're doing right now. They're still looking in the area. They're looking everywhere they can to see if they can find Nancy. Now, what's interesting about this is, let me see if there's any sound. There's no sound to this. What's interesting about this is that the family is treating, to me, it sounds like the family is treating this like something like mama is gone. And whoever has mama, maybe the FBI thinks that the ransom letters, these ransom notes that are coming to the Guthrie family, is just one big fat ass fugazi. Maybe that's what it is. But to me, it seems like the family knows exactly what's going on. They received some letters, and in these letters, it's undeniable the information that they knew, information that no one else would know. I mean, now I'm thinking, you know, I'm not thinking good news, guys. But as you guys can see, there's a live feed, Skycam, drone, you know, showing this. Oh, well, just showing this is at night because it's pitch black out there. All right. Pitch black. But media is still out there and doing their thing. I'm going to grab a few things here really quick. Just give me a second here, guys, because I know like Brian Enton did some videos. I know a lot of people are talking about this right now. So we are going to be talking about all of it in just a minute. So just give me 2 seconds, guys. Let's see. Let's see about Brian Enton. Because I know that he's out there as well, giving updates like crazy. Hold on. Okay, it's that. I've already seen that. I don't see a video of his as of recently. I mean, there's just some things that he did like 7 hours ago. So I don't see anything new from him right now. Hold on. ADHD, thank you so much for the comment. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. It's a short, yeah, but it's on YouTube. Oh, okay. I see it. One second, guys. I guess he put this up just a little bit ago. Something like 30 minutes ago or so. So let's take a look at this.
So there are some deputies that showed up outside of Nancy Guthrie's house right now. I don't suspect it's anything serious. Like yesterday when they showed up, obviously it was because the FBI was about to arrive. I don't know. I think they're talking to the private security that that's been watching over the house. And I don't know if there's just like some concern that the security guard had with someone who's here or something like that. And that's why he called the deputies. But anytime, I haven't seen police out here all day, and this is the first time. You can see all the media, everybody's sort of just videoing what's happening. I'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, I really don't think that we're going to get a whole lot of like massive stuff going on tonight. I mean, I say that, I could be absolutely wrong. They may find her out there somewhere. I don't know. But something about this gives me the vibe that one, she's no longer here. Two, obviously the family, the kids, her kids are willing to do whatever it takes to get her remains back. They'll pay whatever they need to pay to make this happen. But this is just, what say you guys? Do you think that this is a she's gone situation? This is a recovery rather than a rescue now? Or no? Let me know your thoughts. I might do that as a poll too, but and I see a bunch of y'all in here. Thank you guys so much for being here. You guys could be watching anywhere else, and you're deciding to watch with me right here, and that is truly a blessing. So thank you so very much again. But make sure you hit that like button down below, please, and thank you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Subscribe and follow if you're watching on these other platforms, because I know you're watching on these other platforms too, baby. Okay, I see you. I see you over there on Facebook. Okay, so make sure you are subscribed. Okay, follow, subscribe, all that stuff. All right, we're keeping an eye on this. We're going to continue to keep an eye on this, but I don't know, guys. I think we're in the recovery phase of this case now. I hate to say that. I hope I'm wrong, but it seems like that's the mindset that the family's at right now as well. But who did this, guys? That's what I want to know. Who bloody did this.
Former FBI Special Agent Nicole Parker. Nicole, thanks for sticking with us this extra hour of the Big Weekend Show with this breaking news. Earlier, you mentioned, just some ideas of what the perpetrators here may be doing, perhaps trying to get more time. What I want to ask you, since you're an FBI Special Agent, is what is it that the FBI brings to the table in this investigation that local law enforcement, state law enforcement, general police efforts and investigators can't do? And is any of that in motion right now?
That's a great question. We love working with our local law enforcement agencies, both local and state. They're phenomenal and they bring a lot to the table. But again, the FBI, they do have very unique resources. And I, again, greatly appreciate that President Trump has said, look, take whatever you need. Every single resource that you need, we will give it to you. And that is powerful because the FBI does have very special techniques, investigative tools, and other things of that sort. So let's start with our CAST, for instance, our cellular analysis support team. They will literally go in and they can tell where a cell phone has been pinging. They can go and look in a certain area and they can tell basically every single person that used a cell phone in that area, and they can then triangulate that, they can track that, and then they can determine where was this person at this exact hour. And so if someone's saying, oh, I wasn't there, well, if you had a cell phone, look, the pings don't lie. They do not lie. And it is a very complex and sophisticated technology. They do an amazing job of it. We have our critical incident response group. That includes all of our hostage rescue team, our SWAT, our behavioral analysis unit. Let me hone in on behavioral analysis unit for a minute. That is one of the divisions that is so crucial in this investigation because of these emails that are coming out. They do a full statement analysis. They will review everything. They will say, okay, they'll sit with the family and they will say, look, this is what we believe that they're saying. These are profilers that have been working these types of investigations. I mean, we're talking hundreds of investigations that have been worked. I work very closely with many of these profilers, and this is how you solve cases. You look at behaviors, you look at patterns. And so a lot of the things that I'm sharing with you are based on things that I personally experienced by looking at different behavioral patterns in the past. Of course, this case is always unique, but when you look at what you've done in the past and how there are a lot of similarities, BAU is outstanding. The other thing that they bring to the table our evidence response teams. They're phenomenal. They go in and they reconstruct crime scenes. I believe that they are definitely reconstructing the crime scene, trying to determine what occurred in this instance. And then they're taking all of the technological artifacts and they're piecing them together and they're narrowing in the timeline. So we've talked about, for instance, the Ring doorbell camera or the doorbell camera that stopped working. They're going to take that specific artifact and then they're going to piece it together with, the pacemaker app stopped working. Then they're going to actually piece it together. And one thing that I think the FBI is definitely doing is think about it. This woman had a pacemaker. Our heart rate is extremely important. It's indicative of a state of stress that you might be in. So I wouldn't be shocked if they're taking her pacemaker app and they're looking at her heart rate over the last, let's say, couple weeks and seeing when did it spike? When did it drastically change when she was in a moment of distress? And when that occurred, who was she with? What was she doing? Again, if this is being brought on, this horrible crime, is someone close to her? Was it someone that had been around her in the last week, the last 2 weeks, the last few days prior to her disappearance? Again, they're going to be looking at all of the communications. They're going to be bringing in our CART team, our computer analysis response team. They are phenomenal at taking all of the electronic devices and they will literally make an image. They will extract all of the information off of it. And people think, oh, I deleted my text messages. Oh, I deleted the email. No. The FBI, they can go in and recover all of that. So again, we're talking CART. We're talking CAST. We're talking CERC. We're talking all of these things are being brought to bear right now.
So Nicole, thank you for outlining all that. So knowing all that, knowing those capabilities and those possibilities and options, do you think that the FBI, the local police are speaking to the perps through Savannah Guthrie and her family? Or do you think this is more the family saying, listen, this is what we want to do because we need something we need to move this forward?
Right. They want their mom back, right? Yeah. So again, just similar to the response to the email, the first email, right? They work hand in hand, but at the end of the day, so for instance, a BAU profiler, they would likely be working very closely with the family on the statement analysis and say, hey, look, this is what we suggest that might be good to say in a response based on these behaviors. But at the end of the day, the family calls, they make their own decisions. The FBI can say, and again, I'm not in a position, and nor am I going to comment on paying ransoms. That would be inappropriate based on I just think it's best that the FBI and the professionals, they do this all the time. And so let me just say that the family, at the end of the day, it's their choice, but they do work very, very closely. And I'm sure they're in consultation with law enforcement, and this Guthrie family, Savannah and her siblings, I mean, they want the best outcome possible. And they're doing everything in their power to bring their mom home alive. That is the goal, and that is what they want. And so I know for a fact that they are listening very closely to law enforcement, but it has to be made very clear that the FBI will never come in and say, you must do this, you must say this, you have to do this next. It's ultimately up to the family. But again, the FBI's job, their job is to protect the American people and to do everything that they can to protect the American people. That is their job.
Nicole, we want to remind everyone of what the Guthries said in their videos from earlier this week, and then, of course, the one.
We'll come back to that, okay? Because we've already kind of done a trip down memory lane with all the other videos. I may play a comparison between the one that we just heard and the first one, the first ransom video that the family did, just so we can hear the words that are being said, okay? Because it is very interesting. All right. But nonetheless, continuing on, Jerome, appreciate you, man. Thank you, man. All right. Appreciate the comment. All right. And again, let me just say this too, really quick. Peg, I was trying to say thank you, but thank you so much for being a member for the past 10 months. And thank you so much for the comment. Praying for Nancy. I absolutely love this channel, Pascal. 10 months of entertainment. Thank you. And thank you and the mods. Absolutely. Shout out to the mods. Abso-freaking-lutely. Thank you so much for being a supporter of this channel. Without you, without you guys watching the show, I'd just be talking to a wall. That's pretty much what's right here. Aside from this piece of plastic with a lens on it, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you guys, all y'all, for being here. All right. But here's the thing, though. What's really interesting about this is, well, we got to look at this other stuff, because they're saying this is some other reports that are being said. According to Jacob Owens, from where's he from? He's from KVOA. He just reported this, or he just posted this. So let me show you. He said, Pima County Sheriff's Department vehicles just arrived, currently talking to private security individual at Nancy Guthrie's home. Now, that could be nothing. That could be something. I don't know. Okay. But nonetheless, did Nancy Guthrie have private security ever? Or is this private security just got hired recently because of all the hoopla, because of all the stuff that's going on right now in this particular case, right? But you can see all the media. Look at all that media over there, right? Everyone's found a spot doing their thizang, right? Yeah. What is this all about? That's what I'd like to know. Why are they talking to a security, private security individual? That person, let me just say this before we all jump the gun and go, oh my God, it was the private security guy who did it. He may have just been hired to keep an eye on the house, because everybody and their mama is trying to get out there. I mean, there are YouTubers out there. There is media out there. There's everybody and their mama out there trying to get the scoop, trying to get as close to the property as they can, as close as they can legally, I hope legally, as they can, to try to get as much information and get the scoop, like I said. And this is going to be like this until, and I feel that there's going to be other YouTubers out there too. I'm sure there's going to be more. Not a bad thing. They're doing their job, right? Just like media. They're out there. Brian Enton was out there like few days, right? A few days after Nancy was reported missing. So again, I think that, I was thinking that maybe the security is recently hired just for this situation, right? And then again, I will say that there is, Annie, Savannah and Cameron have security as well now too. They have security detail at wherever house they're at. We don't know. There's rumor that they may have left Annie's home and have, now they're stationed somewhere else and not at Annie's house. There's a lot of speculation. Okay, there's a lot of speculation floating around with that too. All I know is that there's a lot of craziness going on as we speak. Okay, 1 second. Hold on. Guys, I'm going to be right back. Hold on. I will be right back. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm back. Oh, my dear Lord. Oh, my dear Lord. What a Saturday night. Okay. I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. But woo, that was important. That was insane. Okay. All right. We are back. Sorry for the delay. Okay. Oh, sorry, I had to run. Woo boy. Woo boy. Okay. So again, of course, we are all wondering. So my alarms went off in my crib. Yeah. Yeah. So I just had a whole conversation with 5-0. I'm not kidding. Yeah. So yeah. Pretty insane. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. It was a false alarm. But the alarm system went off, etc. That's why I was like, I gotta go. So everything's fine. Everything's cool. Everybody's fine. Everyone's okay. Thank God for 5-0 coming in so quickly and doing what they did. But we are okay. All right. False alarm. False alarm. Okay. But we are back. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. We had to do what we had to do. Okay. That's just how it goes. Okay. But here's the thing. As we said, it sounds like there's a lot of new security showing up and taking care of fam. You know what I mean? Taking care of the Guthrie family, taking care of Nancy Guthrie's actual home, her property and all that. So of course, I get it. You know what I mean? That there's going to be some, new faces in security showing up. So I don't think it's old faces. I think they're new faces. Okay. But let's continue on. Okay. Let's continue on. I barely ever do the I'll be right back. All right. I barely ever do that. That's because something serious was going down. Okay. That was serious. So, or potentially serious. So again, yeah, 5-0 out tonight. They responded like that though too. Shoot. But nonetheless, it was a false alarm, guys. A false alarm. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I do want to play again the video, the ransom video. In fact, I want to play the first one first for you guys because I said I was going to show a comparison between the two and all that. So I want to share that and show you guys that first. That one first, because I want you guys to hear the lingo. The lingo's different. Okay, the lingo is absolutely different with this. Okay, so here's the thing. No, it was a false alarm, guys. Okay, it was totally a false alarm. No crazy. Nobody was crazy trying to get in the house or anything of that sort. Everything is okay. All right, everybody's okay. But I was just trying to let you guys know what was going on. All right, that's the reason why I stepped away. But everything is okay. All right. Now, here's the thing. This is the first video. And I want to show you guys this video because, again, it's different lingo. It's completely different dialogue. Okay. Completely different dialogue. So let's take a listen to this again.
On behalf of our family, we want to thank all of you for the prayers for our beloved mom, Nancy. We feel them, and we continue to believe that she feels them too. Our mom is a kind, faithful, loyal, fiercely loving woman of goodness and light. She is funny, spunky, and clever. She has grandchildren that adore her and crowd around her and cover her with kisses. She loves fun and adventure. She is a devoted friend. She is full of kindness and knowledge. Talk to her and you'll see.
The light is missing.
Okay, so we're going to stop there real quick. First and foremost, I understand this is the first video. So, of course, they're trying to basically humanize their mother. I understand that piece. But if you notice, they are still speaking in a way as if they are hopeful that she is still alive, right? They are speaking in a way in hopes that she is still alive. There's still hope in this conversation. The second video, not so much. The second, video that they put out as a family, not so much. But here, let's play a little bit more.
From our lives. Nancy is our mother. We are her children. She is our beacon. She holds fast to joy in all of life's circumstances. She chooses joy day after day, despite having already passed through great trials of pain and grief. We are always going to be merely human, just normal human people who need our mom. Mama, if you're listening, we need you to come home. We miss you.
Our mom is our heart and our home. She is 84 years old. Her health, her heart is fragile. She lives in constant pain. She is without any medicine. She needs it to survive. She needs it not to suffer. We too have heard the reports about a ransom letter in the media. As a family, we are doing everything that we can. We are ready to talk. However, we live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated. We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive and that you have her. We want to hear from you, and we are ready to listen. Please reach out to us. Mommy, if you are hearing this, you are a strong woman. You are God's precious daughter, Nancy. We believe and know that even in this valley, He is with you. Everyone is looking for you, Mommy, everywhere. We will not rest. Your children will not rest until we are together again. We speak to you every moment, and we pray without ceasing, and we rejoice in advance for the day that we hold you in our arms again. We love you, Mom.
Love you, Mom.
We love you, Mom. Stay strong.
We love you, Mom. We love you.
Now, you heard that video, right? You heard that. And that one's difficult to hear too. And I get it. Everybody's going to start side-eyeing individuals in the video and whatnot. But at the same time, the right thing to do is to just wait until we get more information. I don't think it's right or fair for us to automatically just be side-eyeing everybody when we don't have much information. I get it that certain podcasts and certain platforms have said certain things and all that. And I'm not sitting here saying that I don't believe their theories or what they've heard from sources. I actually believe what their sources are saying. But also things can change in an investigation. Maybe in the very beginning, they were looking at somebody. And that's what was true at that moment. But as this very complicated case continues to unravel, and display more curveballs, maybe their theory is not that anymore. I'm just saying. Maybe the source is right for a time and maybe not right anymore. Or maybe the source is right the entire doggone time. God only knows. But what I think is that we have to just wait and hear what 5-0 has to say about all this. If we get more information about that, then, I think it'll be then it'll be easier for us to side eye hard at particular people. Right? And let's be real. Let's just be completely, let's keep it 100 real quick. Okay. It is safe to say that they're already going to be side-eyeing certain people, okay? Because those people were the last people to see Nancy Guthrie alive. Instantly, I do the same thing. Countless other cases that we've seen this kind of story where it's like, hey, this person was the last person to see this person alive. In my book, they're number one on the list until proven otherwise, right? We've seen it in countless other cases. It's the same situation here. Same situation. But the fact that we don't have anything else, people can really go and fly off the rails. Okay? Things can go off the rails very quickly and unwarranted. So I think it's very, very important that we keep our eyes clear and try to find nothing but the facts, at least for now. And then when we actually get, more information, then we can go and we can come to that full-on conclusion. Because I think this situation is a lot more complicated than we actually think. It's a lot more complicated, it seems like. And again, like I said, why, of all people, why is this poor woman the one that got targeted? This couldn't have been just some random thing. This was a properly executed crime. You realize that, right? Y'all realize that, right? This was properly executed. No one knows where this person is. I hate to say it like that because clearly I don't want the bad guy to win. Hail to the no. I'm not trying to shoot. I am not paying this mother lover or these mother lovers any love or giving them any kind of credit. But if you really think about it, dag nab, this was very, very well planned out. And there was other factors that worked for them and are working against 5-0 right now. Like, here's the thing. I guarantee you that neighborhood's going to start having streetlights as soon as this case is over. Watch. 2 seconds, they're going to have streetlights in that neighborhood, okay? But one thing is for sure, it's pitch freaking black out there. Pitch black. You can't see a damn thing over there, right? As soon as the lights go out, as soon as the sun goes down, pitch black. You got the cameras that have been cut out. Cameras, a security system that has no subscription. So it doesn't even record, not even a few minutes at all. It's just nothing. You have that as well. This was a properly executed operation. Why, though? Again, the fact that it's properly executed, at least to me, tells me that this woman was targeted. This was not a situation where they just decided to just drive down a random street and just take just anybody. All right? This was absolutely planned out and executed with such precision. It's shocking. Here's the other part too. because they're saying, we understand that they found a device allegedly on the rooftop. It looks like on the rooftop of the pool, right? They found that yesterday. We saw that. We watched that. And again, like, strange, right? It's strange that would happen, that was found. Again, let me just say this too. It doesn't make any sense, right? Still doesn't make any sense why police were not on this before, that they didn't do their due diligence, and look at every nook and cranny of that house. Why didn't they think to look on top of the roof? Why didn't they think to look at any other spot except for what was right in front of them? That shows to you, at least in my personal opinion, the lack of experience that this police department has. It says a lot. Strange, yeah. A lot of these things, yeah, someone just said this too. I think she wandered from home confused. I mean, if you think she wandered home confused, then she would have been found out there in the desert or by some sort of vegetation or something like that. If she just randomly walked down the street, to me, Occam's razor is more on the side of, well, she's gone. You should be looking at every nook and cranny of that house. That entire house is a crime scene and should remain a crime scene until the case is solved. But they released that information. They released that information, or they released that crime scene back to the family. Why the hell would they do that? What kind of crack hast thou smoketh for you to do something like that? It doesn't make sense. In fact, this doesn't make sense to me either. I know everybody's going after the sheriff, but he ain't making good choices, baby. He's not making good choices. Okay, so here it is. Sheriff leading Guthrie investigation spotted at a basketball game. As the family is making videos going, please, can we just get her remains back, right? Read it right there. That is the same Sheriff Chris Nanos out there watching a basketball game. I mean, I get it. He got to live his life too. He might be there for family or whatever, or, he loves college ball. I don't know. But what's weird is that he is at a basketball game. And mama's still not home. You don't find that a little weird? Now, I know FBI took over, but I feel like it's called, honestly, it's called optics. Cherie on Facebook said, what happened? Wait, what happened? Yeah, he showed up to a basketball game. He went to a University of Arizona basketball game. Listen, it's optics. Don't get me wrong. I get it. If he came upon some basketball tickets and he's had them for a while, I get it. But at the same time, like, yeah, I get he's allowed to live his life. But you realize that everybody's looking at him sideways right now, right? It's not the greatest look. This is the same dude who also said, who told you about? No one said anything about the doors being busted open. No one said anything about blood being inside and outside the house. No one said anything about when those things came out of his mother-loving mouth himself, right? Remember, it's also, by the way, it's not only just FBI taking over. They're working in tandem. So you got the Pima County Sheriff's Department and FBI working together. They're teamwork. They're teaming up. They are Captain Planeting this. Captain Planet, he's our hero. You know what I'm saying? That's a throwback. Okay? But still, they're working together. And he had a basketball game. It's just not the greatest look, baby. Same time that they're putting out a video saying, please bring mama back. he is watching a basketball game. So the sheriff investigating the apparent kidnapping of Today's Show anchor Savannah Guthrie's mother was spotted sitting near the front row at a college basketball game, Saturday night, even as Guthrie and her two siblings posted a plaintive plea on Instagram for the safe return of their mother. It's just timing. You know what I'm saying? It's just timing, love. Okay? It's timing. It's timing, love. Yeah. He was in front row. Rut row. So FBI. Fox News Digital obtained photos of Pima County Sheriff Nanos, who's facing increased scrutiny as the investigation into Nancy Guthrie's disappearance drags on, attending a matchup between University of Arizona and Oklahoma State. Early Sunday morning will mark 1 week since Guthrie, 84, disappeared from her suburban Tuscan home. Now, like I said, I get it. He gotta live his life, and what's wrong with him going and seeing a basketball game, right? But it's optics right now. It's not the greatest look. It's not, especially when everyone is looking at you sideways because you're making the general public feel like they're Boo Boo the Fool when they ain't Boo Boo the Fool. You see what I'm saying? So the source of the photos who requested anonymity slammed Nanos for attending the game while the search continues. I mean, it is interesting because that is him. That is those are his earlobes. Those are most definitely his earlobes. Okay, so that is definitely Nanos. That is definitely Nanos. So it says, I think it wasn't a good move. This whole thing being so fresh and nationwide, maybe worldwide, the source said. Continuing, they said, I don't think it was good for him to do it. He's a major part of the investigation, so it didn't look good to me. Very sad to see him at the Arizona basketball game. So what do you think, guys? Is this the moment where he's supposed to be living his life? Or is this the moment where he should be, out doing his duty? Like, I will not rest until we get mama home. But instead, he's watching a basketball game. All I say is it's optics. Listen, the man could live his life and do his thing, but given everything that's been going on, in spite of everything that's going on, timing is everything, love. Okay? Timing is everything. Just saying. I mean, Lark said, does he not care about the press? Yeah, I mean, he clearly does. He definitely gets in his fee-fees about things for sure. As soon as Ashley Banfield did that video, now he's gone scorched earth, basically saying, like, I'm not giving you guys nothing until the time is right, right? But again, I mean, he's the one who's getting choked up and saying, we will find her, we will get her, we will bring her home, nah. And then he's at a basketball game. I mean, like I said, I get it. You may have had those tickets for a long time. He may have been sitting there even himself. But as he's realizing he's got a basketball game, tickets to a basketball game, he might have been like, oh man, should I even go? I don't think I should go. And then maybe, he turned, maybe he's married. I don't know. Maybe turn to his partner, his spouse, whatever. And the spouse is like, honey, you deserve it. Go and enjoy yourself. Okay. Let it go. Release some of that tension. Right. But it's just optics, guys. At the end of the day, it's definitely optics. Now, let us continue on because there's clearly so much that we must talk about. I don't know if I played this, so I'm going to play this really quick. I don't know if I played this.
And here now is Paul Moore, retired NYPD inspector, Fox News contributor. Paul, I want to play the video released by the Guthrie family again for those who may have missed it. Let's watch.
I'm going to skip
We
ahead.
received your message.
Video.
Yeah, look, I'm just seeing it like everybody else. Just read it. So let's look at it very closely, the way Ted Williams did. I think where it gets most troubling is when you go near the end. So let me just tease it out similar to the way Ted just did. We received your message and we understand. That feels to me like there's something new. And one of the things we've all been talking about is, have they established a protocol to speak to each other? This sounds like they got something that is different from the note, the second note, that none of us were really sure was the same people originating in the same place as the first note that the authorities were taking seriously. Now, one of the points I've been making is that if the second note were from the same people, I think they would have included, once again, the crypto wallet. It's not definite, but that would have very much been a proof that it was the same people, because that's a long, unguessable number. And first of all, it goes to the fact that they want to be paid. So I would think it would have been in the second note, not definitive, but perhaps. This feels to me like it's something new. And therefore, I have to think that they did establish some way to talk to each other, one way or the other. That could be good news for the investigation, because you have something else to work on. Let's go on real quick. We beg you to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. Celebrate what? That feels to me like a euphemism, right? Celebrate her life, something like that. Also, return our mother to us. Let's look at not so much what's being said as what's not being said. If this note had said something like, okay, we're glad we've had a meeting of the minds, let's set up the exchange. Would it not have very, very different verbiage? Would it not have said something like, thank you for getting in touch with us. We're ready to move forward, waiting further instructions, things like that. In fact, I would argue there would be nothing public, right? Further, if there were a good protocol to talk to each other, she wouldn't be making a video.
Yeah.
So she's sending this out for them to hear this, right? And let me just close the loop.
All these are very good points, by the way. All of these right here.
This is the only way we can have peace. To me, that is the most troubling line. Peace, not we can't wait to see her, this is great kind of thing. Peace. When do you talk about peace? You talk about peace when you're talking about closure, right? And then finally, this is very valuable to us. Well, of course, your mother is valuable to you if she's alive.
Now, hold on. Here, he's got a good point here, too. Linda on Facebook said, Pascal, did you hear that Nancy's car was seen at the gas station? I didn't hear anything about Nancy's car being at the gas station. I heard about a car being at the gas station. That's what I heard. But that's weird if that's the case, right? That's the other thing, too, because I know that they took a car. They towed one of her cars. Right? So it does make you wonder why they took that car. But if there's something else new, that would be interesting, right? Interesting. But let's continue.
That, by negative inference, to say she's valuable, to have to say something is valuable, that tells me that it's something you might not normally think has value, and that goes to the idea that we want her. I'm just going to be frank here, man.
Yeah.
You're asking me, I'm telling you. Her body.
Yeah. No,
Yep.
and I think a part of that was the next line. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And I was going to say the fact that they're saying, and will pay.
Exactly.
Well, will pay has been there all along.
Exactly.
And the fact that they'll say, so what are you doing now? You're saying we're going to pay for something that maybe had less value than it had yesterday.
Yeah.
So just as an investigator, I'm telling you, piecing this thing apart, I hope I'm wrong. I think that's clear, but I don't think it's a positive sign.
Paul, I just got one question for you. You alluded to this, that they're communicating back to whoever has her mother with an Instagram post as opposed to through some sort of channel that's established. I would imagine they're speaking with law enforcement and coordinating this with them. Would you say the same thing, basically, that law enforcement supports them putting this video out there this way?
100%. We all know that when they did the first initial response, that we saw law enforcement going in with a ring light. And in fact, when I got that report, I was asked, what do you think? And my first blush was, okay, they're going in with a camera and lighting. Maybe they're going to film a search warrant here so that if they get some incriminating evidence or something, they can demonstrate how they got it. You do things like that. You film locations. But when I heard a ring light, well, we all know what a ring light is, right? That's what people use to make selfies, and they put the videos on TikTok and all of that. So when I heard that, I began to think, all right, social media, and that was in fact the FBI going there, and they did confirm that they were there when that first video was made. I don't know about the second one that Cameron made after the first deadline passed, but certainly the first one, they were there. And at the press conference, they pretty much confirmed that. So let me go yes on that, Joey.
And Paul, I guess we'll also remember here that the next deadline that was previously established was to come on Monday at some point. I don't believe that there was a time period. But of course, today is Saturday, 1 week set that Nancy Guthrie has been missing. So 2 days out from that next deadline, does that help you understand? You walked through the possible interpretations of this last message. Does that add, any, to me, I feel like maybe that's some more optimism. It's before the last deadline that they're still communicating and offering, trying to set up some type of indication that they're willing to pay.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope so, certainly. And I could be wrong. It's just so cryptically worded. And you're not going to, if it looked like, okay, we got a message, we've had a proof of life, you're not going to be cryptic. It's going to be real direct. The only thing that she really says that is really sort of straightforward.
Hey guys, thanks so much.
Pay. But that's been there all along, I would argue. So, I hope I'm not taking the wrong messages away from that, because we all hope that she's alive. But this feels to me like they got some new piece of information where almost as if they said something like this, an accident occurred. This didn't go the way we expected.
Yeah.
We know she had a heart condition, right? Something like that. And like you say, we're before the deadline. So would they not be saying things like, before the deadline occurs? And I've heard disparate reporting on the deadline. My understanding is that the best sourcing from the authorities was that it was going to be 5 o'clock again on Monday, Arizona time. And that might be an inference, the Arizona time.
2 o'clock. It was 2 p.m. on Monday, but okay.
But because we're before the deadline, it would have felt to me more like a negotiation than it does.
Wow.
Yes, I agree. I think that this is not a negotiation anymore because she's no longer here. And I think that, and it could have been a situation where they maybe there was a crucial mistake that was made, meaning they didn't get the ransom money to them in enough time. And maybe that particular person said, hey, I'm not here to negotiate. I'm not here to talk. You pay this up or she gets it. But then that's the thing. What is phase 2 then? What is deadline number 2? That's the one thing that's going to drive me crazy. What is phase number or deadline number 2 for Monday? Why did they have, what is it? Oh, yeah, you better pay on Monday or what? You'll never see her remains? Is that what it is? You'll never know what actually happened to your mother? That kind of thing? It's so strange. Now, again, hold on, guys. I want to make sure I'm not losing my mind. Hold on. Let me just grab something here real quick. Hold on, guys. There's everybody talking about this right now. I don't know if I played this. I'm going to play it. I don't know if I played it. I apologize if I did, but I'm playing it again. If I did, play it.
Folks, we have a breaking news update in the ongoing search for 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie. That's the mother of NBC's Savannah Guthrie. The family posting a video just moments ago speaking directly to the kidnappers, with Savannah Guthrie saying, quote, they will pay a ransom. Let's go to News Nation's Brian Enton live in Tucson outside Nancy's home. Brian, this video posting just within the last few minutes.
Yeah, Savannah Guthrie posting this video to her Instagram account just within the last 15 minutes or so. She's sitting there with her sister and brother, similar to what we saw in the first video. But this time, as you said, she's addressing the kidnapper and saying that they will pay. Listen to this new video.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
So a short video there, Alex, but let me read it to you again, what she said. She said, we received your message and we understand. Now, I don't know if she's referring to the new message that came in yesterday to the local TV station here in Tucson, or if there's now another message that has come through that we just don't know about. But she said, we received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay, which this is now the first time that we've heard the family say flat out that they will pay a ransom. A lot of questions I still have. I mean, has there already been more communications directly between whoever's been writing these letters and the Guthrie family, or is this sort of a last-ditch effort to open the lines of communication and there's been no communication? We don't know the answers to that, but there's obviously something that prompted Savannah Guthrie to create this new video. And you can see once again, like the others, at one point it looks like she's looking down to read what she's saying, and that goes back to the fact that the FBI is very much involved in these messages that she's been creating. We've learned they help craft the messages. I mean, it's very deliberate in terms of the words that she chooses. But again, this is the first time that we've heard her or her brother or anyone say that they will actually pay a ransom.
Let me just throw this in here. There's a little bit of a curveball I'm about to throw in here, and I don't mean to throw this in to piss anybody off. But what if they are doing this to push back at the abductor, the alleged abductor? What if they're going, we got your message, we hear it. All we're asking is for you to return her so we can celebrate. Because they did not receive, from what we understand, they did not receive any sign or any proof of life. So what if the situation is they're pushing back at them, being like, I guess she's gone. You see what I'm saying? Like, I guess we are now going to have to understand that she's gone. So pay us. And maybe the abductor will be like, no, she's alive. What are you talking about? She's right here. Right? Maybe, but I mean, that sounds a little asinine. But at the same time, maybe. But the fact that they said we are willing to pay, right? We are willing to pay says something, right? Now, before we finish this, because I know a lot of y'all are starting to send me, going to be like, Pascal, look. There is something that somebody was just talking about here too. And I saw it, so I wanted to pull this up as well. Okay, I understand everybody going, oh my God. So at Annie Guthrie's home, see what appears to be unmarked police vehicles at the scene. White flashes are visible coming from the garage, which appears to be investigators taking photographs. See the video. Let's take a look at this video, shall we? I mean, they're taking photos of something. Remember, if we have the story, if we have the timeline correct, she had dinner. Nancy had dinner with the Sionis, Annie and Tommaso. Remember that. Now, the question is, did they have dinner at the house? Did they go to dinner somewhere, like some really nice Mexican cuisine spot, and then go over to Annie and Tommaso's house to play, you know what I mean? To play some mahjong, okay? Maybe that's what they did. We don't know, right? But we do know that they played mahjong before she went home. Here's the other thing too, and that's the other question I'd like to know, Camille. Where Tommaso at, baby? Where he at, baby? Because we haven't seen him at all. We've only seen one glimpse of him, and then all of a sudden, gone. He's been MIA. We don't know where the he is, right? So where he be, right? Where he be at? So I got questions about that, but that doesn't mean that he did anything. You see what I'm saying? I'm just asking the questions just like anybody else. We've only seen Annie with the siblings, with Savannah and Cameron, but we have not seen much of Tommaso anymore. Why? Where could he be? Why not? It's interesting. But now they're out here taking photographs at the house, which makes sense. This was the last place she was at before she went home and then disappeared. So yeah, man, I just hope that they are smart and they figure this out very quickly. And yes, just so you guys know, Tommaso is the brother-in-law, Annie Guthrie's husband. Okay? Just so you guys know. Yeah. Are you okay, Annie? Annie, you okay? I mean, yeah. I mean, like I said, everybody except, here's the thing. Everyone except for Cameron and Savannah are suspects. You understand that, right? I'll tell you in a little bit. I'll tell you, Nicole. I know people have been asking that a lot.
People got shot at a lot, but they don't understand the whole turn your headlights thing.
Annie, you okay? So, Annie, you okay? Are you okay, Annie? So yeah, a whole lot of. So they definitely are taking photographs, okay? They are definitely taking photographs inside or somewhere on Annie Sioni or Annie and Tommaso Sioni's property. Remember, Annie and Tommaso were hanging out with Mama Nancy. They had dinner with her, and then they played games. And then after they played games, Tommaso allegedly is the one who dropped her off back at home. The garage door opened, and then 2 minutes later, the garage door closed. And then somebody came back, or somebody went there at 1 something in the morning and ripped off the Ring camera. All right. Then about 25 minutes later, they went back in, tried and broke into the house. And then this is when her pacemaker disconnected around 2:28 a.m. Her pacemaker disconnected from her Apple devices. Now I'm curious, anybody who knows anything about pacemakers, right? This is a very random question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Would there be any indication on those apps, or any indication, would like the pacemaker stop working or suddenly shut down if she had perished before the pacemaker disconnected from the Apple devices? Does anybody know that? Could it be that she could have been unalived at like 9 o'clock in the morning in the garage? Let's just say, okay, here it is. Wait, no. So the pacemaker would keep working, right? Would the pacemaker continue working and stay connected to the Apple device, or would it just shut down? But it would still spark sometimes after death. Interesting. Or until the battery goes out. Because here's the other thing too. Okay. No, I know. Here it is. I'm just asking the questions, right? Because again, I'm just asking the questions, y'all. Chill. But the question is, garage door opens, right? And then it closes 2 minutes later. Then 1:40 something a.m. in the morning, somebody goes to the front door, rips off the Ring camera, sits there for 25 minutes before they actually try to go inside the house, which they do go inside the house, right? So they go inside the house, somehow smash up the cameras or grab the cameras or do whatever, grab her and move her at around 2:28 a.m., right? So again, it makes you wonder what is going on here, right? Could it be that a tussle happened at 9 o'clock? Hold on, let me pull this up. Let me pull up the timeline real quick. The timeline that we all know, as we know. Take a look at this, right? So she gets dropped off. Let me zoom this in so you guys can see it, because I know some of y'all looking at this on an iPhone 4. But here it is, 9:48 a.m. Tommaso, from my understanding, Tommaso's the one who drops her off. The garage door opens at 9:48 p.m. I'm sorry. 2 whole minutes later, the garage door closes. Then all of a sudden, at 1:47 a.m., the doorbell camera is disconnected, ripped off from the front door. 25 minutes later, that's when software detects a person on camera. It's not filmed. It's not saved because, again, she didn't pay a subscription, allegedly. Then, say 15 minutes later, pacemaker disconnects from her Apple devices because she was now away from the house. So the 2 minutes between the garage door opening and the garage door closing could be something. It could be something. Or it could be nothing at all. And that the real crime didn't start off until 1:47. But it is interesting that you have from 1:47 till about 2:28, all kinds of chaos. Something's going on here, obviously, right? Bad-ish going down. in those 40 something minutes. So I just keep thinking, like, the last person to see her alive. But then again, it could be nobody. It may not be that person, right? These are just the facts, right? Something strange. Something strange. And, like I said, something strange about it. And nothing is set in stone. Nothing is set in stone. But I get why everybody's side-eyeing. I get why everybody's side-eyeing. But it may not be anything. It may be exactly what we're seeing right now, right? But let me bring back. I know I interrupted Brian Enton. So let's finish Brian Enton's segment here.
Alex?
Right, and by my count, I think it's the third video that either Savannah or Savannah's family have released on Savannah's Instagram account. This one, heartbreaking to see her looking directly at the camera, essentially speaking to the people that they believe have her mother in their possession. Brian, you mentioned some of the confusion that we have about which note Savannah is possibly talking about. We received your message and we want to comply. Can you just remind our viewers a little bit about how that's unfolded, right? The ransom notes, or in essence, the note that has been passed on to various news stations to kind of get people caught up in where we are right now.
Yeah, so there's two notes that we know about. The first one came towards the beginning of the week and went to two local TV stations here in Tucson and also to TMZ. And that is the note that made reference to what the FBI called specific facts about the circumstances in the house. One of those things had to do with a floodlight on the outside. The other had to do with the Apple iWatch on the inside. And whatever was said in that note led the FBI to believe that it could possibly be credible. Whatever they were saying led them to believe that they may have actually abducted Nancy and been inside the house. So that was the first note. Then there was the second note that arrived that from what we know of, only went to one local TV station, KOLD in Tucson. And that is the one that came from a different IP address from the first note, but at the same time used the same encryption software, right. We're told. And while we don't know the specifics of that note, we know that there was something in it that connected it back to the first note.
And what's interesting, Brian, what's also unusual is that it's pretty much been clear that if these ransom notes are legitimate, that they don't include any sort of corresponding instructions for the Guthrie family to get in touch with them, which I think is why we're seeing the Guthrie family and Savannah literally posting these on her own Instagram accounts saying, look, we're open to paying.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe.
The freaking jump scare. Here's the thing. I know that there's somebody out there like covering live. Of course, if there's something breaking, of course, if something breaks, over there, we will look at it, of course. But we, again, haven't heard any. Now somebody just said in a chat, in a super chat. But yes, thank you. I know that JLR is live right there. There's a search warrant and I just talked about it because there are other outlets that are showing that as well. Not live streaming, but they are showing footage of that as well. And yes, I understand that Enton will be putting something up here very, very soon. Okay. Yes, but I will, as soon as we get some information, we will find out what's going on. But yes, I know that there are unmarked vehicles, like I just showed you guys a second ago. I'll show you again how serious and how much I know that there are FBI or unmarked vehicles at Annie's, because I just played it. I just played this. And that's literally what everybody's looking at, except the only difference is that they have lights on over there now. The lights are lit up, okay, in the driveway. That's it. The only difference is that you're not in darkness. We're not in darkness anymore, okay? So, again, thank you so much, P. Bailey, for that update. Thank you so much for the heads up. But again, when we get more information about that, we will talk about it and we will see what's going on. I mean, to me, staring at, I will show you. Let me show you what I mean. Just so you know, There's, like I said, there's not a lot going on. It's just lit. And now everybody and their mama is starting to show up over there now too, because FBI started doing their thing. Okay. So again, that's what's going on right now. Okay. And so I'm waiting for Brian Enton to see what he's going to be putting out here as well. But let's hear just a little bit of this.
A lot of people in the chat are saying luminal. That's okay.
So, I mean, if they, you just heard JLR just say, luminal. So they may have sprayed some luminal in the area. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe a crime happened inside that home. Maybe something happened inside right there. And then they just put her body in there for a little bit or something like that. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. Okay. But like I said, when there's more developments and more updates, we will talk about it. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Another one. They say heavy police presence. Wait, hold on. Oh, this may not be anything. Hold on. No, that's nothing. I thought that was that live. They were covering the same doggone thing, but they're not. Joseph Petito. Papa Petito had something to say about this. Let's take a look.
Through your mind when you see this video tonight?
It's heartbreaking that they have to do it in such a public forum. You know what I mean? Something that's so hurtful and so painful that they have to endure, and then they have to do it in the public scrutiny. It's just that additive you just don't need.
You have gone through something similar to the Guthrie family, with Gabby being reported missing on September 11th. I understand her remains were not found until September 19th. What was going through your family's mind during those 8 days?
It's a blur, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? And just on just everything that you're going through, everything you're looking at, everyone you're talking to, it really is just, to be honest, I don't remember even what direction I was going in, and I feel for what they're doing, and I hope that people aren't trying to project some views that they have on them, put it to someone else. They have enough to deal with on their plate right now.
Yeah, tell me what you mean by that.
I've seen some stuff online. You know what I mean? Why her and not this person? And they didn't choose this. They didn't ask for this. They asked for help. You know what I mean? And it just happens that she's a public figure. But everybody deserves the same attention. And I'd love to see everybody get it. And I think that's important. So if you do feel that that's an issue for yourself, and I fully agree, lead by example and share flyers that you see that come across your social media, because the more people do that, the more people will talk about it, the more stories get talked about, the more people get found. And that's how you really make a difference, coming together.
As the Guthrie family searches for their mom, what is your message? What would you like to tell them?
Listen, do what you feel is right. At the same time, listen to the people who, have done this before. It's my understanding the FBI is involved now, and I'd love to see federal resources for every missing person. I think that's something that should happen. But again, together, I think that could happen. So I just focus on what you believe to be right, and hopefully that'll lead you to the right path, which is having Nancy come home safe.
What can we not understand from the outside as we watch what the Guthries are going through right now that you understand, having gone through something like this, that you never asked for in a very public way?
But you ask for help, and you get it. And when you get it in this type of, abundance, there's another side to that coin. And you just have to understand that that's what comes with that. And it is what it is. Focus on what's important to you, getting the job done, which is bringing Nancy home. So just continue focusing on that. Nothing else matters. You have a lot of people supporting you, and again, we all pray for you. Hopefully that, everything comes to an end in a positive way where Nancy's home safe and sound.
Yeah, when every single person in the country is talking about your your family story, your loved one. What advice, how do you navigate that when every person and their cousin has an opinion about things or is slinging mud in some cases on something that they don't know anything about?
She's in, I guess, the celebrity because of her normal job that she has. So I think she's well versed in not, I guess, giving them what they want in terms of that. Oh, that, you said this, let me say that. I don't think that's an issue. It's really just focusing on and staying focused on the task at hand, and that's look for information on social media if you can. You know what I mean? That's what we did. We would screenshot stuff, send it to the FBI, send it to the police. Hey, listen, take a look at this. That'd be my advice, and hopefully, again, found safe and everything's just good to go.
Can you tell?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, coming from somebody who knows this experience, something so high profile where they just don't know where somebody is, a loved one is. Yeah, Joe Petito is definitely the one to know that, right? So shout out to my brother there. Great guy, really, really great guy. Yes, Judy, I'm fully aware. We just talked about it. Everyone's running over here like, Pascal, feds are at Annie's house. I already know. We already talked about it. We're waiting for more developments. Okay. Trust me, when the more information comes out, I'll let you know. I promise. But we ain't going to just stare at a whole bunch of white unmarked vehicles in a driveway until there's some more developments going on, baby. Okay. But there is developments going on for sure at Annie's house. What kind of developments is it? Okay, I'm fully aware. I feel like I need to put a banner down below just to be like, I know that the feds are at Annie's, just so everybody can stop. Be like, they're at Annie's. They're taking pictures at Annie's. I know, but I know, guys. I know. We're gonna find out. We'll see what happens here. Okay, it might be something. It might be nothing. You never know. Just hold on. We already talked about it. Don't worry, we're going to circle back. We're going to fly back. We're going to circle back, okay? We're going to make a nice, smooth descent down to that situation when the time is right. Don't you worry. I know, okay? I know.
Tell us a little bit more about Gabby, what you want us to remember about her, and the work that you've continued to do since then.
Listen, I do the boring stuff. I do the legislative work. It's really Tara and Nikki. I think they're in the Panhandle right now. The two of them doing a conference. They're shooting to Alaska to do a conference as well. Talk to some high schoolers. They just go around the country doing a ton, which is amazing. Jim does a first responder program that he wrote and goes around teaching, EMTs and firemen how to spot domestic violence situations, as well as some other things that we're doing too. We have a committee for victim technology reform we're working on, trying to get that out there. But in terms of Gabby, listen, just positive, stay positive. I understand sometimes there's some gray clouds that come over, but there's that silver linings. And the more you look for those, the more you'll learn, and hopefully you won't see those same things come. So just keep a positive outlook, because every day is a new day, and man, it's a fantastic day when you start it that way.
All right, Joe Petito, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Joe Petito, being dope as always. Always love his energy. Always great energy. But like I said, we already know. Don't worry. I will even try to make you guys happy for 1 second, okay? And do this when I can, okay? Let me just show you what I mean, so you guys can be happy, okay? 1 second, please. 1 second, please. So, just so you can see, I know what's going on. Everybody is over here looking at this right now. Looking at this. Nothing has changed. Not a damn thing. It is the same. Okay? Okay. It is the same. Yes. it is the same. So nothing's changed. When something does change, we will come back to it. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not sitting here going like, ooh, let me look at these Chevys. Let me look at these Chevys that parked in this driveway. Damn, this is some damn good Chevys. Ain't nothing more American than driving a Chevy. Like, just wait for a second. You know, we all know. Okay, we all know. We'll see more when the time comes. Okay. Okay. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. When something's popping off, we will look at it. I promise you. But I don't know about just staring at this the entire. Oh my God, what's gonna happen? Oh God. What do we do? What do we do? Do we just unmark vehicles in the driveway of Annie Guthrie's home? What could happen next? I mean, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Just stand here and just. They moved the camera. What do you want me to do? Just stand and stare at gravel and cars, or just wait and keep giving you guys more news and keep it pushing. But everyone's standing out. Everyone's going over there. I understand. I totally understand. No shade at all. But I'm just like, do we stand here and just? Those are damn good Chevys. The lights went out. What does that all mean? You know what I mean? Come on. When we get more information, we'll look. Trust and believe. Okay? Hold on. Oh no. I'm still here. I am still here. Riveting. No disrespect, but we're going to keep it moving. And when there's something going on, we will get to that. But for right now, it looks like there's not a whole lot of shaking going on. Okay? Quiet as a silent fart. That is interesting. But that could also be deadly. Silent but violent. Just letting you know, Jerome. Okay? You feel me? But we're gonna continue on. Is that okay? We'll circle back. Trust me. I'm like I said, we're gonna, you know what I mean? We're gonna get back to it. Okay? We're gonna get back to it. I appreciate JLR for being out there and live streaming that. Real talk. No shade whatsoever. I'm just not gonna sit and like watch that until there's movement. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? Like those kind of things, you know, it's like somebody sitting there and waiting for like, you know, it's like those National Geographic photographers that are waiting for that one moment when the snow leopard walks out for the first time and it's never been seen before. You get what I'm saying? And they have to get that one photo, but they've been sitting there for like 3 months in that one spot, peeing and pooping on themselves and not moving anything because they want that snow leopard to show up and make its presence known. You see what I'm saying? That's kind of what we're dealing with right now. We're just kind of waiting for FBI to come out, and we're just hoping that they're coming out with like a bloody cloth, right? For everyone to see, right? So when we find something out, we'll get there and we'll see it for ourselves. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like watching paint dry. You know? A little bit. Not him. I'm not saying anything bad about him. I'm just saying standing there and just looking at a bunch of cars in the driveway, that's like watching paint dry. When there's movement, we will talk about it. Trust and believe. Let's move on, though. Okay.
For more now on these breaking developments in the search for Nancy Guthrie, let's bring in Chad Ayres, former armed robbery investigator and a former SWAT assistant leader. Chad, thank you for being here, first of all. And I know that you have some thoughts on the video which has brought us all together tonight, the breaking news here. So before we talk, I just want to play that video of Savannah Guthrie one more time for our viewers. Here's Savannah.
We received your message, and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
So, Chad, what in particular strikes you about that Instagram published video message?
Well, Jonathan, if we compare it to all the other videos that we've seen so far, this is the first time that the whole family, all the siblings, are holding hands together. You know, on the initial video with Savannah, her and Annie, you could kind of see they were holding hands, but the brother kind of stood to the side, then he gave his message. Today, they are all holding hands, and you actually can see several times during this this message that Annie is actually grimacing. You actually see her close her eyes and almost, you know, holding back the tears. I kind of agree with what Nicole Parker was saying earlier. I believe it was Nicole that said, personally, I don't think this is a good video. I think that they possibly got some bad information. And again, who knows? Listen, everything's still out there. Any outcome could happen, and we are certainly hoping for the best. But this video is completely different. Please bring her home. Please return her. Those keywords kind of keep it, you know, and I'm no behavioral analysis or expert, anything, but just from a law enforcement perspective, that stuck out to me.
And Chad, the approach has been, we saw the first video from the Guthrie family, please give us proof of life. We saw the second video just from Cameron Guthrie saying, we need to hear from you, we need to see our mom. Tonight, very different, no request for a proof of life, simply a promise, we will pay and please return her to us. Is there anything we could or should read into that? And I do not want to characterize what the Guthrie family might be going through, what they might know here, but what it seemed a different tone, Chad.
Yeah, I agree. And again, I'm no expert on the behavioral aspect of this. I just see, like you said, like everyone else is seeing, it's a different tone. What was in the new letter that came today or the message that was delivered to the family today? You know, questions that I have, and I think over the next, 24 hours, we are going to see if we see a change in law enforcement. Are they going somewhere else? Are they starting searching more of the desert area that they feel like there could be a grave or a body disposed of? Jonathan, no one's really reported. And I did want to ask you, what is it like on the outside of the neighborhood? Are there exterior searches being done? Are helicopters just maintaining around that main scene? Or are they kind of out and about, kind of in that desert area?
Yeah, Chad, those are all very good points, and thank you for being with us. And to answer a couple of those questions for our viewers, we are not seeing around Tucson a lot of searching going on. We've seen some door knocking in Annie Guthrie, the other sister's neighborhood. We've seen, obviously, the activity at the Nancy Guthrie house. We know, because we have seen surveillance video, that FBI agents have turned up at a couple couple of gas stations looking at their surveillance video, for instance. But we have not seen, not that we, this is a huge area, obviously, around Tucson, huge desert area. We have not actually seen huge search teams out there. The significance of that, maybe, Chad, you have some thoughts on that. Is it significant that we are not at least aware of huge grid searches going on?
Yeah, I mean, it tells me that the Bureau and the local agency really believes that Nancy's still alive. Because I feel like if they felt like this was a rush,
Hold on. How old is this video? This was put up 13 minutes ago. I don't think 5-0 is treating this as a rescue anymore. Like, not at all. Not at all, love. Not at all. Definitely not. But let's hear what you got to say. This is not a rescue no more. This is a recovery. In fact, they're taking photos inside Annie's home. That's the last place that Nancy was inside of. So that would make sense on why they did that. Here's the other thing. See, this is what's weird. I'm gonna say this again. I'm gonna say it. Just rock with me. Okay. So, all right. Let me put something else up instead. Okay. Let's look at this timeline again. just for a spell. Okay, let's take a look at this timeline one more again. So Nancy went over to the house, to Annie and Tommaso's house, hung out, played mahjong, ate dinner, played mahjong, whatever. And she took an Uber out there, by the way, right? And then she got a ride back with Tommaso at 9:48 p.m., right? 9:50 p.m. The garage door opens at 9:48, 9:50 it closes. Okay, now, and then there's nothing at all. And something strange something's bothering me. Something's bothering me. Now, just rock with me, because I already know some of you guys are like, you're just messing it up. Stop it, Pascal. Hold on. Just rock with me for like a hot minute, okay? Before you get all in your fee-fees. What if she was already on the live before they even got there at 9:48 p.m.? Hear me out. What if she was already dead before they even showed up to the house? Now, they're taking photos inside Annie's home right now as we speak, right? And yes, the timeline has changed. Thank you, Messi. That is true. The timeline has changed considerably. Before it was, oh yeah, we got a phone call around 11:10 or 11 o'clock, and then we drove ourselves over there at 11:10, and then we didn't call until 12:05 or 12 something, p.m. the 5:0. That part drove me nuts. I'm like, why would they not call for an hour and 5 minutes? That seems strange. The timeline has changed. It has shifted, but you know how it is. Sources say certain things. The news can sometimes throw things off and get things, jacked up and screwed. Okay, chopped up and screwed, etc. Okay, now rock with me for a second. I know it's gonna make some people mad, and I'm not here to make people mad. I love all y'all. Okay, love. Okay, without the baby oil and Astroglide. Okay, just straight up love, hugs and just love. Okay. Now, here's the thing. And why did I do a Trump thing? Just hugs and loves. Of the likes you never seen before. Okay, so here's the thing. 9:48 p.m., the garage door opens. Now, they're over there right now. They're doing some photographs inside that house, right? They're taking photos. Maybe they're using luminol. We don't know, right? Something that's driving me a little nuts is... Okay. Ride with me for a second. What if bad things happened at Annie's home? Bad things happened at Annie's home, but they still had to transport her back to the house because she couldn't stay at that house. So they had to move the body. Hear me out. Her phone is still with her, like her purse and her phone, during that time. So they go after whatever happened between the hours of 5:32 p.m. to 9:48 p.m. They find a way to move her body. Remember, they said that there wasn't any. This is what they said. They keep going back and forth, but what if? Because they said that there was no blood inside the house. But we heard reports that there were. But, we're just going to ride with the information that they've given us recently, even though I think they were trying to gaslight us like a mother lover. But that still doesn't answer the question on why there was blood on the outside on the walkway, at the front stoop, the front walkway of the door, of the front door. So hear me out. What if that blood is hers? That's been confirmed. The blood that they found was hers. What if she was getting carried inside the home through the front door at around that 9:30, 9:48 time? The garage opens because maybe they were trying to, I don't know, move something out or move something back in through the garage. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. Something seems strange. That maybe them like smashing the cameras and removing the Ring camera and doing all those things. What if that all was there just for show? In fact, I'll even go even further. What if she never was inside the house at all? What if she was at dinner? And here it is. I still think that people are still innocent until proven guilty. This is speculation warning. Let me just put up this right now, because I know some people are going to be like, this is the Pascal said this. And I was like, no. This is speculation warning, loves. Speculation warning. What if she went there, something bad happened at the house, speculation, something bad happened at the house, she lost her life. They freak out. Now they got to dress up and come up with some sort of elaborate idea, some elaborate plan. So they drop droplets outside the front of the house, right at the front stoop of the house. Maybe they open the garage. They try to kick things open, so on and so forth. They destroy cameras. They remove cameras. They do whatever to give off a vibe that she was abducted. I mean, like I said, it still doesn't answer the question about the random camera that's on the rooftop that was found on the roof. One thing they have not said, they have not confirmed whether or not that camera is one of her cameras or if it was just somebody stalking her and watching her every move. Then it would make you wonder who's sending the text messages or these messages, right, to the family. Who's sending these ransom notes? Is it just some random butthole out here trying to scoop a bag, or no? But I feel like, what if she never? Okay, excuse me, guys. What if she never was there? What if she never showed up? There was never a moment when she walked in there. What if they left her in the garage? What if they laid her down in the garage? Then did all this, because they had to get her body out of the house. They couldn't leave her in the house. They needed to clean up whatever happened in the house. Obviously, speculation warning. Okay? I'm putting that back up. Something bad happened at the house. They had to move her somewhere. So they moved her. They moved her back to the house. Maybe they put her in the garage. And in the meantime, they staged chaos. Maybe got done making it look like something bad happened in the house. So see what I'm saying? I'm still trying to figure out how or why she would be disconnected from the phone, pacemaker phone, right? But let's just say he drags her in the garage. God forbid that image, but say he did. Takes him 2 minutes to drag her in the garage. He closes the garage. Then he goes inside the house and causes, he does certain things. Then after he's done, maybe he leaves. Then he realizes, oh, crap. Security cameras. Yet. What do we do? So he goes over there. Rips off the camera. Waits for a second to see if it's going to go off. It doesn't. And then he does the rest of whatever the hell he's doing. Right? But then at that time, it's like, we got to move the body. We got to move it now. So then they put the body, or put, Nancy in the car of whatever car they used, and then they move her somewhere else. Where, I don't know. You know what I mean? Now, this is just me shooting from the hip. In all speculation. I have no proof or anything of that sort. But the timeline is driving me crazy. The timeline seems weird. Then also, the other thing that's really nagging me, guys, and it's still going to nag me until somebody actually steps forward and tells me different, is the actual person who called Annie or Tommaso to let them know that she didn't show up to church the very next morning. That made them go out there at around 11:56 a.m. now with this new timeline, and then go, oh my gosh, she's not here. And then they called the cops, at 12:03, 7 minutes later. That's the part that drives me knuckin' futs. Okay? That's what's driving me nuts. Who called Annie and Tommaso to be like, hey, buongiorno, Tommaso, go check on your gram, or your mother-in-law. She didn't show up to church today. Click. What? Who called? Who called them to let them know she was not there? Or is that a lie? Now, remember, I'm going to say this over and over and over again. They're the last two people to see her alive. I'm not sitting here saying that they are prime suspects or anything of that sort, but we're just going off the information that we know. They received a phone call saying that she didn't show up to church. And that's why they went there. So again, that's weird. So the timeline is weird. I'm sorry. I hate to say it like that, but the timeline be weird, love. Okay? The timeline be weird. Timeline be freaking weird. So let's take a look at Brian Enton put up a post. A couple posts, if I'm correct. Maybe it's just one on both the same post on Facebook. I mean, not Facebook. On X and on YouTube. But let's take a look at this. Hold on. Let's take a look. So he's where everybody else is too. It says here, let me read this off screen. It says, I'm outside Annie Guthrie's house where law enforcement appears to be taking photos inside. Yeah, because they probably found something that looks suspicious to them, right?
So I'm outside Annie Guthrie's house, which is obviously Savannah's sister, and there's 2 law enforcement vehicles here. My photographer was here when they got here and said that he saw camera flashes from inside the house coming from the windows. So it seems like they could be taking pictures inside. You can see the lights are on inside. We don't know that anyone is here, like that Annie is still here or her husband or Savannah. I was told that they are not here, but I'm not sure.
No,
But
they ain't.
Law enforcement is definitely here, and they showed up tonight. And apparently we're taking pictures inside. I might still be taking pictures inside. So I'm going to stay out here, obviously, but I just wanted to give you guys an update.
So like I said, I know, trust me, I know that 5-0 are inside Annie's house taking photos. What of, you may ask? I have no idea, love. But it could be something very big. Could be a very big deal. Could be a smoking gun. Could be nothing, though. You never know. We have to wait. Okay? Yeah, thank you, Grace. Let's make it a very, very abundantly clear. I know that they're there. I know. I already know. Everybody's sending me messages. Pascal, I know I've been talking about it for like the last 45 minutes, mother lovers. Yeah. I got you. Thank you so much for the heads up, though. I appreciate it. No, see, seriously, you're doing it because you care and you want me on top of what's going on. I appreciate that. Seriously. You know, whatever the hell it is. Much love. Much love. I appreciate it. But like I said, it's just a lot of looking at Chevy pickups. Okay? You know? Like a rock. Is that Chevy? Is that Chevy? Is that Chevy? Wasn't that Chevy's thing? Was that Ford? I thought Ford was have you driven a Ford lately? Like, no? Yeah, I thought that was Chevy, right? Useless knowledge. Useless knowledge. Okay. Yeah. One thing is for sure about me. I if I get a chance, I'll break into song every chance I get. That is for sure. Let's take a look at KTLA.
A new plea tonight to the person behind the abduction of Nancy Guthrie.
The 84-year-old mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie was taken from her Tucson, Arizona home 7 days ago. KTLA's Chip Yost is live in Tucson with the latest developments tonight. Hi, Chip.
Yeah, hello there. You know, we are going on almost exactly a week since Nancy Guthrie was last seen alive. She was last seen last Saturday night going in to her Tucson home here. She hasn't been seen since, and now it seems things have reached a new level. Her children reaching out to the possible kidnapper or kidnappers, saying they will pay a ransom to get her back.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Now, that message followed a flurry of activity here at the home yesterday. Here's a little bit of what happened in the 24 hours before that message was sent out. Friday, an SUV that had been in Nancy Guthrie's garage all week was towed away by investigators. It happened shortly after Pima County Sheriff's deputies and FBI agents suddenly returned to the scene, shut down the street, and moved the media out of the area. That happened around the same time that the FBI put out a statement regarding a new message from someone claiming to be involved in Guthrie's kidnapping. The statement said, the FBI and Pima County Sheriff's Department are aware of a new message regarding Nancy Guthrie. Investigators are actively inspecting the information provided in the message for its authenticity. According to local CBS affiliate KOLD, the new message was sent to them. An anchor for the station said in an X post that it appears the sender used the same type of secure server to hide their IP address, and that the new note contains something the sender seems to think will prove to investigators they're the same people who sent the first note. News Nation's Elizabeth Vargas spoke to KOLD's news director.
No, we are not calling this a ransom note. I'm not sure if that's why the FBI is not calling it a ransom note, but we are calling it a message because no further demands were made.
Did the message offer any way for the Guthrie family to communicate?
No.
We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive.
And that appears to be why Savannah Guthrie and her siblings have sent videos directly addressing the possible kidnappers. Friday, President Trump spoke about the investigation.
I think we're doing very well, meaning we have some clues, I think, that are very strong, and I think we could have some answers coming up fairly soon.
You know, I'm very concerned about sorry. I'm very concerned about what's to come if whatever's being looked at Annie's home right now is like smoking gun evidence. Like I worry for the likes of, I just really worry for the likes of Savannah, for Cameron, even Annie, if she has nothing to do with this, you know, if they find something that, I mean, like I'd be devastated. And I don't know, I hate to say this, but I don't know if there's any coming back for Savannah. I have to be honest. I don't think there's any coming back for Savannah after all this. I just don't know. Even here's the thing. Even if it's like some outside entity, some evil entity, and it's not an inside job, and it truly is just some outside evil mother lover out here, I just don't see her being able to really come back from this. This is too devastating, right? But then again, there's a lot of people, you know, we see, you know, Charlie Kirk's ex-wife, or not ex-wife, sorry, Charlie Kirk's widow, I'm sorry, Erica Kirk. You see her going out and being like, I'm going 10 toes down because that's what he would want. So you never know. You know, Savannah might surprise us, but I just don't know. This is tough. This would be very tough to come back from. Real talk.
Guys, just now, I don't know if this is a new development or not, some sheriff's deputies have shown up again here in front of the home. Like I said, it was kind of a surprise yesterday when they showed up. Now 2 sheriff's deputies trucks have just shown up again, but I don't know what's going on. This could be something routine. We'll keep an eye on it. But when they were here yesterday, one other development or a couple of other developments to tell you about, an FBI agent was seen on the roof by some of the drones that were put up by the media. A couple of media outlets or a few media outlets had some drones up. And some of the shots, you could see an FBI agent on the roof taking some sort of device off it. That device looked like it could have been a camera, not sure though, but you could definitely see them taking something off of the roof. Also yesterday at a Circle K, it came out that investigators were at a local Circle K trying to get video of a possible vehicle of interest. So again, two deputy trucks anyways, just showed up here on the scene. We'll keep an eye on it and see what's going on with this, if it's anything related to the investigation, and let you know. But for now, reporting here in Tucson, I'm Chip Yost.
Yeah. Oh boy. And then that was a few hours ago. So not very long ago. And yeah, there's police presence. There's police presence. But we'll media's out there like a mug too. This is something from about 15 minutes ago. So let's take a look at this.
This follows a week of unverified ransom notes, multiple searches of the Guthrie home, and the family and community begging for her safe return.
Fox 10's Taylor Wirtz is in Tucson tonight and joins us live now. Taylor, what a mystery. The weirdest and oddest case, too.
Yeah, Brian, Ashley, it has truly been a saga. And we know that exactly 1 week ago, pretty much from right now, Nancy Guthrie's family says they dropped her off at her home just over my shoulder here. They believe that a few hours later, someone took her against her will. Tonight, the family is releasing yet another video on social media. This one appears to address the kidnapper directly. It's been 1 week since 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie's family says they last spoke to her. In the days since, the Pima County Sheriff's Department has been working to piece together what happened. Sheriff Chris Nanos says he believes Nancy was taken from her home in the middle of the night, with her security camera disconnected around 2 a.m. 30 minutes later, her pacemaker disconnecting from its app.
Can I pause this really quick? Now, I hate to do this. Listen, first off, they going in on that sheriff right now. There's a lot of articles now popping off showing Sheriff Nanos at this basketball game. And there's a lot of articles being written about that. And it's making him look really, really bad. But let me just say this really quick. I'm not trying to dog the dude. I'm not trying to dog the sheriff. Okay. He having a bad week. Okay. He having a bad week. But let me just say this. Can we believe 100% what the Pima County Sheriff's Department found in that house to be 110% true? I hate to say that, but hold on. Hold on.
And her phone.
What they just said a second ago, I just need to play that again. I need you guys to hear this because this could all be wrong. It could be 110% wrong. Hold on.
Together, what happened? Sheriff Chris Nanos says he believes Nancy was taken from her home in the middle of the night.
That could be wrong. You realize that, right? This is what he stitched together. And look at how things have been done lately. Oh, the crime scene is fine. We don't need the crime scene anymore, so we're releasing the property back to the family, blah, blah, blah. You had people in and out. You had reporters walking through the house, etc., contaminating the crime scene because it wasn't time to let go of it as a crime scene. He keeps bouncing back and forth. He's like, she was snatched from her own bed. Then he goes, no, I didn't mean like that. It was a turn of phrase. It was a turn of phrase. It was a turn of phrase. What? When he got everybody and their mama really concerned and holding on to every syllable that comes out of his mouth. Remember all the stuff that he told us before, and then he said, I don't remember. I don't know who told you about the forced entry. Don't know what you're talking about that. Blood inside and outside the house. Don't know where you got that information as well. So again, hearing all of that, and then when we hear his original story, his original theory, which is, oh yeah, looks like it's a grave situation. How do we know that they're even correct in their theory to begin with, y'all? Sorry, not sorry. But think about that for a second. They've been kind of mucking this up since the beginning. They've been mucking it up since the beginning. Coyote, one day we will do the call-ins again. Thank you so much for the comment, though. I really do appreciate it. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it a lot, but I might be doing it a different way. You know what I'm saying? I'll think about the call-ins, but something different, a different route, a different way. I got to change it up a little bit. But you see what I'm saying, though, right? So how can we really 110% believe what the sheriff's saying when the sheriff seems to be doing, like, the department's kind of been sloppy? Sloppy Joe, you know what I mean? Sloppy as hell. So I don't know how I feel about what he even says now. Because even so, me saying that out loud, like, I'm like, okay, 5:48, something like that. She's 5:48, she's having dinner. Then at 9, I think it was 9:48, 9:30, 9:48, the garage door opens. So that's when she was allegedly getting dropped off. 2 minutes later, the garage door closes at 9:50, and then she goes to bed. The timeline seems weird. Remember, the timeline was different before, and then it changed. And I know all those things are subject to change, just like prime suspects are subject to change, because the case can tend to ebb and flow. But something's weird about this, guys. Indeed. Let's continue.
With her security camera disconnected around 2 a.m., 30 minutes later, her pacemaker disconnecting from its app and her phone left behind. Investigators say...
Let me repeat this one more time. She could have still have had her pacemaker connected to her body, like connected to her phone, I'm sorry. And then it doesn't go off. Like, it didn't get disconnected until her body was actually removed away from the actual phone. So again, you never know. Maybe something happened way before 9 o'clock. Maybe something bad happened way before 9 o'clock p.m. Saturday night. Maybe something happened Saturday night. That is still such a possibility. But let's continue.
A small trail of blood, a positive match for Nancy, led up to her front door.
There's something that's not right. It's unsettling.
This, as her family says, Nancy takes medication she needs to survive. Several news outlets also reported receiving ransom notes, demanding cryptocurrency in exchange for her return. While investigators ruled at least one of those notes a fake, Nancy's family, including Today Show host Savannah Guthrie and her siblings, released videos appearing to speak directly to the kidnapper. The latest posted Saturday.
We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
A local Circle K employee says investigators came looking for surveillance footage Friday afternoon.
Just like looking for a guy that got away.
The sheriff's department says it has not identified any suspects or persons of interest, adding that seeking video is routine. And while Guthrie's disappearance has gripped the nation, it's hitting the Tucson community especially hard.
I think the difference of why it is so close to my heart is because it's a tiny little mom, because elder people are very attached to this and hoping for the best results possible. Hoping that she can come home.
And the FBI says that one of those unverified ransom notes actually contained 2 deadlines, the first of which was this last Thursday at 5 p.m. The second is this coming Monday. If you know anything, call the FBI. We put a link with this story on fox10phoenix.com. In Tucson, Taylor Wirtz, Fox 10 News.
Taylor, Ashley and I have both been there this past week. Is the media outlets lining that street like they have been all week?
Yeah, Brian, it is still packed. Every inch of this street is covered with media cars, cameras, photographers, reporters, and the neighbors are really bearing with us because obviously a lot of them are getting tired of being asked questions. They're just trying to walk their dogs and live their normal lives, but they have been very understanding. They told us that they know there is an important reason for us to be here. They want Nancy's name and face out there, so they understand this just comes with the territory.
So yeah, they're looking at Circle K. They're looking at all kinds of different things to try to find Nancy and try to figure out what the heck happened to her. Obviously, that's the problem. There's not a whole lot of information. Now, I understand that there are allegedly blue lights being shown or used in the space. Let me show you what I mean. Well, I don't have the proof of said thing, but I'll show you the video so you guys can see that for yourselves. And this is just, like I said, very, very interesting. But they're saying people are saying that they are allegedly spraying luminol, using blue lights like black lights in Annie's in Annie's house. If that is true, shocking, but we'll see when we get more information. But I'm telling you right now, if they believe the start of it happened here and then something happened at Mama Nancy's house, then my theory could be correct. That maybe they just staged that space to make it look like something bad happened. And then also remember, they could have, even so, maybe, I don't know, like the fact that the garage opened and then it closed, but 2 minutes later, it does make you wonder why. There's also a lot of activity. Remember, there was activity. The FBI was looking at stuff in the garage. Could it have been that something happened where they maybe pulled a car into that garage for a little while they tried to figure things out, maybe used the garage to clean some things up, maybe? But again, the tussle or anything of that sort isn't real at all. Even I'm just saying, even the droplets outside, right? Even the droplets at the front door seem a little strange. See what I'm saying? There's some things that I'm like, because again, if they're over there and they're doing I don't know what's up with this jean jacket, so we're going to close that. But if they're looking over there and they're doing their due diligence, they're checking some things out. What if something happened to her, then they went over there for some strange reason, maybe parked a car in that garage, or maybe put her body in the garage because they had to get it out of the house to maybe clean up those droplets on the outside of the door are planted. The ripping off the ring camera at the front door is planned, was a planned thing, a staged thing. The smashing of these other cameras, also planned. The making the place look in disarray, but not actually grabbing or stealing anything from the house, shows that clearly this person who wanted her knew her enough to not care about the valuables that were still in the house. So again, it's interesting. Maybe the whole thing that's happening with that house is just one big stage, one big red herring. Again, the jean jacket's gone. So I'll show you this again. Shout out to JLR, you know what I mean, for the content and doing the live feed. All right. But here it is. If they find something in that house, and again, this is all speculation, something bad happened inside that house. Part of me keeps on thinking like maybe they asked for money. Maybe they asked for a hookup or something like that. And she said, no, she couldn't do it. and then somebody got beside themselves, and then all bad things happened, right? I don't know. But nonetheless, if we're going on the idea that maybe there was something that happened inside that house, she loses her life inside that house. They do everything they can to cover this thing up and make it seem like, and try to make it seem like some bad person came in and stole their mom. But then it makes you wonder, who's penning these ransom notes? And are those ransom notes real? Like, could it be that this particular person is penning, like one of them, let's just say, good God, but what if it is one of them, is penning these? Because, you know, Annie is a writer. Like I said, speculations. This is just speculation, okay? Everyone's still innocent. This is just a speculation. But what if she's finding time to write these doggone things using AI, ChatGPT, something like that? Or maybe he's penning them himself, right? He's writing these things himself and then somehow sending it out using these encrypted email accounts and all that stuff. I don't know. Just seems a little bit odd. Let's hear what's going on here.
There's lots of media. So it's not just me, folks. It's
Wait, what did he say? Oh, I think he's just saying it's just, yeah, he's saying media. I'm like, Mina. Yeah. Everybody's out there. So, okay. Like I said, maybe, just maybe, okay, they staged everything. She lost her life way before that. And then maybe they just realized, okay, we gotta make this look like someone took her for real. And then maybe they didn't have any plans on doing any type of ransom note until the idea was brought up by media. And they're like, ooh, you know, a ransom note might be a good idea. And then they started writing ransom notes a few days later. I don't know. Like I said, could be wrong. Okay. Could be absolutely wrong. Let me get some of these super chats while we look at this stuff. Stella, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. And just like Stella B, consider becoming a member by hitting that join button down below. That'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. There's rumor right now that they're spraying luminol inside that house. And if that's true, that is interesting. Now, what I'm saying could be absolutely wrong. It is just me speculating. It may be a full-on stretch. I could be reaching like a mug. All I know is that there's a lot going on, especially in Annie's house right now, that I think all of us should be concerned about. Okay? But nonetheless, like I said, we're just looking at like a rock. You know what I mean? Like we're just looking at Chevys. No disrespect. I'm just saying we'll just see. Okay. And somebody just asked, what is luminol? Luminol is a substance that they use to spray on at like crime scenes to see if there's any type of remnants. It can pull out blood splatter. So if somebody went out of their way to try to clean up blood, they can actually spray this luminol, and it's like, oh, there it is. You can see the streaks of blood as somebody was trying to clean up using Windex or something like that. You know how it is. You know for a fact you use Windex on everything. You use Windex on everything. Don't you be lying. Don't you be lying. Don't lie to yourself. You're not like, no, I only use Windex for the windows. No, you use it for everything. You know for a fact you do. Okay? Let's be real. But at the same time, when people will go out of there and spray, try to use bleach, etc., those kinds of things can get picked up by using this luminol. So again, the fact that they're inside Annie's home, Annie and Tommaso's home, and they're doing that right now and taking photos, it may be nothing, by the way, but it could be something as well. So we'll see, right? We'll see. Let's continue on with these super chats, okay? Let's see. Of course she did. Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate the super sticker. Thank you so much. Pug, I'm gonna pull this back up, this live feed. Don't worry, it's still here. Okay, guys. All right. Pug hair is glitter. Thank you so much for the super chat. It's a dark sky community. There's ordinance against bright light at night. Interesting. No street lights for that area. That makes sense now. Doesn't Arizona have like the best sunsets, allegedly? I think even in the state of Arizona, you're not even allowed to have like skyscrapers or something crazy like that, because they want to. They you know what I mean? Like they're trying to, like, I don't know, honor the. They don't want to avert our eyes from the beautiful sunsets they have, or something like that. But moving on, General Genobi, thank you so much for the love. What's up? Police were seen with maps today. Yes, they were. She could be buried in the desert. That is possible. Criminals kind of said today to pay them, and they will tell them, or they will tell where to find the body. That is interesting if that's the case. Pay us and you'll get your mama. And if that's the case, that's wild, right? Is it an inside job? Is it somebody in the family or not? That remains to be seen so far. Crisis, thank you so much for the love. Tucson is pronounced Tucson. Did I say Tucson? Did I say Tucson or something like that on accident earlier? If I did, I apologize. Okay? If I did, I apologize. General Genobi, thank you so much for the love. There's an 80-year-old dementia man missing out there in the desert, so sheriff should stay for that too. What a stretch. Yeah, I mean, if you're saying, like, who cares, he should be able to go and live his life, that kind of thing, then I get what you're saying here. There's an 80-year-old man, dementia man missing out there in the desert, so sheriff should stay for that too. What a stretch. I mean, here it is. If I'm reading that correctly, listen, I just think optically is a bad look, for him to be out there, going to a basketball game and all that. But at the same time, let's see how the public takes it. And I think the public is looking at him in a bad way right now. Here's the thing. He already pissed them off. He's already pissed the media and the public off by gaslighting people. Then he's like, we're not doing any more press conferences. We're done until we need to have one, right? And that kind of made people feel some type of way, right? And then 2 days later, or the next day or whatever, he's watching a basketball game the same time that the Guthrie family is putting out a video pleading to at least get the remains of their mama. Yeah, it's the timing. It's just a bad look. Just a bad look. But I get it. He needs to live his life too. Shoot. He's a human just like anybody else. He needs to be able to blow off some steam too. For sure. But I got that song stuck in your head. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Parky Posey, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. Condemning a sheriff is lame. Stop. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. I feel like there's going to be people who agree, and then, of course, people who disagree. So, Reed, thank you so much for the love. What if it's the sheriff? Oh, dear God. What? That was one thing I was worried about somebody saying. I literally was worried about that somebody would be like, what if it is the sheriff? You know what I mean? I don't think that. I just don't think he's properly equipped. Experienced, equipped, whatever you want to call it, for this particular type of situations. DUIs, breaking and enterings, DV cases, that kind of thing, no problem. But high profile abductions like this, nah, he ain't. I don't think he's, even his team, I don't think his department's equipped for it. No disrespect to them. Flojo, what's up? You mean the whole wife who told him about Guthrie's filming the ransom response video? You mean the same wife who told him about the Guthrie's filming the ransom response video? I'm confused, Flojo. If you're still in the chat, let me know. I'm confused by that super chat, but thank you. Parky, thank you so much. It was so buttoned up, except the last minute sloppy random note. I think the random is a hoax. I don't think it was very, Parky, I have to disagree with you on that. I don't think it was very tight-lipped and buttoned up, as you may think. I think it was sloppy from the very beginning. Or I think it was sloppy when media and when the attention was, when all of our attention went that way. Because it went from, and it was pretty quick, because this is a big deal. Obviously, it's a high-profile individual's mom going missing. But the fact that they were like, oh, there could have been foul play, everybody went whoop like that. All of us went. All of our attention went that way. And I think the sheriff was like, whoa, this is a lot of attention. I'm not used to this. Holy crap. People are watching me all over the globe right now. Holy crap. Nervousness, etc. And he just started to misspeak. And I think he continued to misspeak, right? So, and then, I got to be real, Banfield said what she said, and then that got things a little bit sloppier. And, it didn't help the situation. I will say that. But I appreciate her doing her job. She's doing her job. And I believe her source. I really do. But that definitely pissed off the sheriff. And that made the kind of the connection between the police department and media kind of a little frayed, Claudia, thank you so much for the love. I believe Banfield more than law enforcement, to be honest. This is such a mess, starting with the sheriff, in my opinion. It was sloppy it's been sloppy for a good while. Okay. Kitty, thank you so much for the laughing out loud. I appreciate it. PNW, Shanna, thank you so much, because you make me laugh. Aw, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Here for the entertainment and the information, right? Mook, thanks for the love. Let's see. Did the son-in-law go straight home after the drop? That's what I'd like to know too. They haven't given us the full breakdown of what everybody else was doing, and that's the problem. The only reason why we're not side-eyeing the likes of Savannah or Cameron is because Savannah was in New York, getting ready for her job. And then Cameron was wherever he was, flying a plane or something like that. You see what I'm saying? The last two people to see this woman alive is her daughter and her son-in-law. It's unfortunate, but that's what it is. Maybe he dropped her off. Question is where, in my opinion. That is obviously the main thing. If he dropped her off and it wasn't at home, where did he? Right? Proving Samantha, thank you so much for the love. I thought she took an Uber home. No, she took an Uber out to her daughter's home, and then they drove her home. Now, here's the thing. Here's the other hole in the situation. Because she took an Uber there, why wouldn't she just take an Uber back home then? Like, think about it. If they weren't going to go out of their way to pick her up, to take her to the house, and then eventually drive her back, why would they drive her? And that's the other question too. Well, actually, the Uber is real. They did interview that person, and that person checks out. That's what they just said a little while ago too at the press conference. So again, my question is, if she did an Uber there, she would have easily done an Uber back, right? Now I get it. It's like, Mama, you're here. No, Tommaso will drive you. No problem. Tommaso will drive you back home. It's all good. We got you, right? That makes sense too. But at the same time, it's like, well, why wouldn't she just take an Uber back? She took an Uber there. Why wouldn't she take an Uber back? Again, seems very strange, right? Unless they fed her something, they put some substance in her food or in her drink, and then she was taken from the house, from Annie's house. I don't know. Just, that's some crazy movie stuff. You know what I mean? Lynn, thank you so much for the love. Annie and hubby have a 20-year-old kid. Dun, dun, dun. If they do, did that 20-year-old kid check out? Have they interviewed that kid? Right? That's just interesting information. Lolo, thank you so much. My opinion, scam gone way wrong. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Susan, thank you so much for the love. We all wish the best for the family, of course. I don't believe there's any kidnapping. Somebody wants Bitcoin. Who's that somebody, right? It's a good point. Somebody just wants the money, but yeah, it could be a plan that just went really, really bad. Like things went south really fast where, she got hurt or she lost her life because of medication or God knows what. But I don't know. This is crazy. Ninja, thank you so much for love. I appreciate it. I think she was drugged, in my opinion. Ooh, okay, there we go. Then driven home to connect to the pacemaker. Then do the fake abduction for money later that night. Now, here's the thing. Her phone was with her. She had to order an Uber, get that Uber to go to Annie's house to eat dinner, right? So maybe so there's no way for her to drive. There would be no reason to drive her over there to her house to connect to her pacemaker. Her pacemaker and her phone were with her. You see what I'm saying? So maybe something else, right? But I see what you're saying here, but maybe not. There's a Brian. Okay. Oh shoot, you guys are spamming the F out of. Somebody spamming the hell out of the chat. Let's see. There police are in the Andy's garage right now. Where did you get that info? Is that from Brian Enton? If that's the case, ooh, they might be cooked. They just might be cooked, baby. They might be cooked, baby. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Too many things cooking all at the same time. Give me a second. Where is this? The Brian Enton thing? I'm assuming it's on. Sorry, getting the Brian Enton. Hold on. So that's what he's saying here in the chat.
Man.
We're coming back. We'll be back to that. Promise. Brian Enton had some things to say, apparently. So we're going to take a look at that.
Let me give you guys a little update. Not much has changed here outside Annie Guthrie's house. There's, I think, 3 law enforcement cars. We're not sure what agency they're from. There's this pickup truck, there's an SUV, and then there's another SUV behind there, I believe. But they've definitely been in the house taking photos. Like, there's no question about that because we've seen the flashes and we have some of the flashes on camera. And the interesting thing is they've been in different parts of the house taking photos. So we saw them over on this side, but then we also saw flashes coming from this side over here. So I don't know if they're going into every room or if there's certain rooms that they're focused on. But this is Annie Guthrie's house, Savannah's sister, Nancy's other daughter. She lived here with her husband. We've seen police here before. The FBI was here earlier last week. And then there was the day that the federal agents were here and went in with the ring light and the tripod when they made the first video, when Savannah and her siblings made the first video. But we don't think that anybody is staying here now. Like Savannah and Annie and Annie's husband, I think, are all gone because it's been quiet here for like the last day or so. But the timing is just interesting. Like, why would they come tonight so late to just start doing this? I don't know the answer to that. But yeah, so I just wanted to give you guys a little update. I'm going to stay here, obviously, see how this all sort of wraps up.
Okay, so we got that. Obviously not good. I mean, potentially not good. It could be nothing, but it also could be something as well, right? But we'll see. I mean, that's strange. Strange that they'd be all over that house, looking all over that house, right? So this is very interesting. Is Nicole B still in the chat? I'm curious. Is Nicole B still in the chat? I forgot. Well, let me get these other super chats here really quick. I mean, are they cooked? They are at the house. They are at the house. See, same old Chevys, right? Same old Chevys. Yeah, she hasn't been in a while. Okay. Well, to answer her question, I make my own ginger tea, so that's what I drink. That's all. It's good for you. It's good for the body, metabolism, that kind of crap, immune system, etc. For inflammation and all that, it does all that crap. So yeah, just to answer your question, if you are watching this later, yeah, I make my own ginger tea. That's all. So let me get some more of these super chats here. Oya, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Heather Marie, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. Thank you. No Joy here. Thank you so much for the love. If Nancy bled or bleeds, where's the blood droplets? You don't just stop bleeding when you're kidnapped. That's a good point. right? That's a good point. That's a very, very good point. I think that's the ongoing question right now, because the droplets of blood going inside the house, or like outside the front door of the house, seem very strange. How it just stops, right? It just starts after the door. That's weird, unless somebody did something, right? And planted that. Kim, yeah, that's what's in my. That's exactly what I put in my ginger tea. Yeah, some turmeric, obviously ginger, turmeric, lemon, cayenne pepper, honey, uh, black pepper. Yeah, I put all that in there. Tasty as hell. So let's get these other super chats here. I missed the "that's my man" days. That's my man. Yeah, I remember those days too. Diggity damn. Yeah. Let's see. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you so much. If Nancy never got home, why did they take the blue car? I keep thinking that maybe the question is, like, maybe the person put her in the car. Maybe they put her in the car. You never know. Maybe they were leaning her up against the car. Maybe, or something happened right next to the car. You see what I'm saying? That may have blood splatter could have gotten on the car. You know what I mean? Like I said, anything is possible. But that's one thing that's for sure. We just don't know, right? So yeah, I don't know. Something's weird. I'm gonna play a little bit more of this. Let's hear what's going on.
Somebody here. Oh, shoot. Somebody. Oh, shoot. Look. Coming out with something.
Okay, some movement.
Came out with poster boards or something. Some sort of board. They're leaving.
Ruh-roh.
All right, something in the side, passenger side door. Some sort of white poster board or something. Folding table. We sit and wait. Came out with something. We sit and wait, folks.
Uh-oh. Interesting. Well, it looks like they're just grabbing some things here. Let me do this here. General Genobi, thank you so much. Yeah, it looks like they're starting to pack things up, getting whatever they got, and they're packing things up. Doesn't mean that there's going to be an arrest tonight or anything, but you never know. You never know. You never know. Okay. Wait, hold on. Brian Ensign's being interviewed. I'll see what's going on with that. So General Ginobili, thank you so much. Okay, if they did do it, I guess it's what you're assuming or saying. I'm assuming. Why have the kids, Savannah and them, do videos? So to keep the front, to keep the act going, right? Because they don't want to give off that they did it. You see what I'm saying? They don't want to give off that they did it. They don't want to get caught.
Deputy. The deputy. The deputy. The deputy. Yeah, the deputy. Badge on. Okay. One.
Crazy.
The deputy.
I don't know.
Yes, the deputy.
Deputy.
Yeah, it was a deputy. Yeah, they're retired. All right, so now we have. Good. So that one was a deputy. We'll see what the other ones are. One left. Two are still there.
All right. You're getting
Oh. Looks like another one's coming in. Just wait. What did they get? What did they find? Yep, another car is starting.
Knocking futs.
Here we go. He's leaving. And another one. I'll try to find out who he is. Oh, excuse me. Look at all this media out here. All the media out here. Look at this. This is insanity. Find out. And another one. He's backing up. He's backing up. It's a female. Female deputy. It's a female deputy. All right, there's another one. Go on. Oh, they got boxes. They got stuff. They got stuff. They got stuff. They got stuff. Gloves on. Get gloves on. Blue gloves. Another deputy. All right, he's leaving. This is the last one. Deputy. Deputy. All right, so 3 deputies gone. JLR investigates. Boots on the ground. Driveway's now empty. Thoughts, folks, thoughts. What do you think they got? What do you think they took? What do you think they did? I'm gonna stay out here. Let me just show you the massive media presence out here. There's a massive media presence. This could be the break. This could be the break. This is an indication. My assessment is this is an indication that they are targeting occupants of this house here, Annie and Tommaso. Clearly. What's your take? What do you think? Why do you think they were here? This has absolutely something to do with Tommaso or Annie or both of them, or anyone else that was in the house. We don't know about. It's not looking good for some people. This could be the break. I'm just gonna chill here for a minute, see what's going on. Everyone has their cameras over here, so I don't know what everyone's waiting for. Maybe somebody's coming back. Maybe they're leaving.
Huh.
Some people are saying case closed. Folks, there could be things that are breaking off here soon. Something else. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep tonight. I'm going to be on standby. I mean, whatever they collect here could be analyzed instantly, and probable cause, warrant on somebody. The authorities come back. I'm gonna just sit out here as long as everyone's out here. I'm just gonna chill here.
Oh. Oh ho ho. I mean, yeah, okay. Interesting. So I'm just gonna read this because I just got something.
Is it Tommaso?
No, we're staying on this, but you know, we're staying on this for now. Um, um, I guess there's speculation of maybe there has been a rift between Annie and Tommaso. Apparently there was this is all speculation, of course, but there may be a conversation of them being separated for a good while in between the time of 2025 and 2026. But that may be something, that may not be nothing at all. You see what I'm saying? That may be something, that may be nothing. It does make you wonder, why, why there was a separation for so long. But that doesn't that doesn't mean really anything at all. But let's hear a little bit more.
I think something's gonna pop off at first light. I really do. I think something's gonna pop off at first light. Maybe tonight. Maybe something else. See, I have to go. Like, if you're hearing any other like search warrants being done or somewhere, but remember, some of the media outlets were reporting that authorities were going into the sheriff's office today with a map. Now, I wonder if that's connected in any way, and if it's a map, do they already determine where they have an idea where Nancy could be, maybe, and in the next day or two they're going to start looking. But I say that in a again, she could be out, she could be alive, so I don't want to only speculate. Man, there's something. This seemed like this was definitely crime scene. One thing is also now this is what I was talking about, the garage. Look, the garage. That's where the flashes were coming from.
If those things were happening in the garage, that is not good. If that's true, if that's 100%, that is crazy. But here's the thing. Some may not pop off at all tonight. They took photos. They still have to examine those things. They still have to say what they found. I'm sure they have to, if they found any type of blood in that garage, they have to, they have to run the DNA, make sure that the DNA is actually, you know what I mean? There's a lot that they have to do before they actually do anything. So what he said, his first initial thought is, by daybreak, something might pop off. I agree. I think by daybreak, something might pop off. But tonight, I don't think so. Unless it's like they sprayed luminol and the whole freaking room is just like a damn horror scene, then yeah. Okay? Then yeah. There might be something popping off tonight, right? But I need to see it. You know what I mean? I think tomorrow, first thing tomorrow, yeah. Shoot, this might even happen during the Super Bowl. You never know. right during the Super Bowl, we might be back here going live being like, hey, forget the Patriots and the Seahawks for 2 seconds. Okay. We got some major action going on. You see what I'm saying? But we'll see what happens here, right? Let's hear a little bit more. And I'm trying to see if there's any other news anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? So let me just give me a second while I look. But again, shout out to JLR. You know what I mean? He's boots on the ground out there. He's been covering this. He's been out there covering all of this. This is where everybody's seeing what's going on, right? So let's see what's popping.
Recap is, we just see
There he is. What's going on, man?
We're a fan.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hey.
What's going on?
How much we've been following
What's your
you.
name?
Ron and Asia.
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 Yeah.
Ron and Asia.
Yeah, we just moved from Florida. We were watching you out there too.
That's how we found you.
Ormond.
Ormond Beach.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been watching you for a while.
Nice, nice.
I just missed you earlier. I was like, so what'd they take out? I missed.
Well, he had some sort of poster board or some sort of folding table, white table or something.
Okay. Man, okay. I'm sorry. I'm just checking a few things, guys, just to see if there's any. Any new updates? It's hilarious. Everybody's watching this feed. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. So here's the thing. So just so you guys know, those of y'all who are late to the party, just showing up. Here's the thing. FBI came into Annie and Tommaso's home, took some photos. A lot of focus was in the garage of Annie and Tommaso's home. What it could be, we don't know. All we know is that they have been spraying allegedly luminol throughout the garage, and they are doing what they can to see if there's some sort of connection between the time that she left this house to the time that she went missing. Because this could be the very last place before she was abducted or before she lost her life. Because remember, I'm side-eyeing the fact that someone called them and said that she didn't show up to church. I still find that weird. Okay? I do find that a little bit weird. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know what this is, but I saw this earlier on Nerdy Addicts thing. So Holly, thank you so much for sending this to me, but I still don't know what the heck this is. But anyway, so Nancy Guthrie posted a photo, posted a Facebook reel before she went missing, filmed from Annie Guthrie's backyard, showing 2 bobcats in the yard. So Annie Guthrie, About Me page from the Wayback Machine describes her as a writer and jeweler. She's the author of The Good Dark, Tupelo Press, and Instant Gratification Jewelry Chronicle books. And her page indicates she was writing 5 strains of human. She also provides manuscript consultations and private sessions for those interested in expansive methodology or the expansive methodology of oracular writing, which we already talked about. It's like a stream of consciousness type of thing. Okay. Then her X profile lists her as author, oracular writing, The Good Dark, Let X Be Rogue. I don't know. Let X Be Rogue. Okay. Based in Tucson, Tuscany, with the website AnnieGuthrie.org, and shows she joined in October of 2010. Now, I don't know what this is all about. This is very strange. It's a little ate up. I'm going to just not play that just for copywriting safety. So some bobcat. And that's it. We're just seeing a bobcat clean another bobcat. Okay. I mean, I don't know what to make of this, you know? I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. I don't know what to make of this. It's very odd. Okay? It is very odd. So Holly, I already checked it out. So thank you so much for being a member for the past 2 months. I really do appreciate it. But that's weird, right? Son-in-law involved in kidnap for hire scheme. Well, cutie, cutie Carly. Son-in-law involved in a kidnap for hire scheme. Interesting. Maybe. You never know. But you know, these videos, like her dressed up in her own, I don't know, Halloween costume. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be a Halloween costume, for crying out loud. We don't know. I will say this, though, and I've already said it before, but I do think that her home was strange. I thought it was strange. Doesn't mean that she did anything. Doesn't mean that she did it, but I did find it a bit odd. I did. Sorry, not sorry. I did find it a bit odd. But again, like I said, that could be nothing, or it could be everything all at the same damn time, right? Kidnap for hire scheme. You never know. You never know. You never know. Claudia, thank you so much. No way she got home at 9:45 with all those coyotes around, especially walking with the help of a cane. Yeah. I mean, here it is. If she even ventured out in the middle of the night by herself, if this was like a moment of dementia or anything like that, those bobcats would have been out there, man. It would have been a wrap. Okay? It would have been a wrap if she walked out on her own. She would have been attacked for sure, because those mother lovers are everywhere. Okay? So yeah. And then Cutie Carly, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate that. But yeah, something strange. Something strange. Something's definitely strange. Hold on.
You again.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out and saying hi.
All right.
Be safe.
All right.
All right. So
Try this again. What? Wait, what? Oh, okay. He finished. He down. Man, I don't know, guys. I mean, obviously, things are going to pop off. I'm sure things are going to pop off tomorrow if they have something there that is smoking gun. If it's smoking gun, if they found something in there, something's going to pop off. Trust. I'm going to check Brian Enton's page real quick before we sign off. I don't see anything from Brian Enton at all. Let me just check his YouTube channel. Ah.
Hey, guys.
We got something. Craziness. Dang. Okay. Alrighty then. Shoot. Crazy. Okay. Crazy stuff going on. And I have a feeling, yeah, I do have a feeling tomorrow might be the things might pop off tomorrow. I agree with JLR on that for sure. Let's take a listen to this.
Hey guys, all right, so I'm leaving Annie Guthrie's house now. If you look at my previous videos, there were 3 sheriff's deputies there. They showed up they were there for about 3 hours. They went in with like evidence equipment and they were taking photos inside the house. And we know for sure that they were taking photos because we could see flashes through the windows. And it was different parts of the house, by the way. It looked like they were taking photos in the garage, but then in some of the other rooms in the house too. So they were there for about 3 hours. When they came out, one of them was wearing blue gloves. They didn't say anything. At first, we didn't know if they were like FBI or sheriff's deputies, but they were definitely sheriffs because I could see the emblem on their jackets when they left. And it's just strange. Annie Guthrie, we don't think is staying there anymore, or her husband. We don't know where they are. Savannah was there at one point. She's no longer there anymore. And it's just strange, like why suddenly on night 7 would they show up to start taking photos so late at night and be there for 3 hours. But anyway, that's the latest. They're all gone. So just wanted to keep you guys posted. I'll keep an eye on it, see if anything else happens. Hey guys.
Okay. Something else. What? Because they were saying something about poster board. What if they were actually cutting out the wall? What if it's not poster board, but actually them cutting out the wall? If they found something, right? If they found something and they were just cutting it out, right? They spray luminol on it. They see, okay, that's definitely blood splatter of some sort. So instead of it actually being just some poster board, like we just heard, could it be like sheetrock? Could it be a piece of the wall that they just cut out and took with them to continue examining to make sure if that blood comes back, if that whatever they found in there and there's traces of blood on it, and if they find out that that is indeed the DNA of Nancy Guthrie, then Bob's your uncle. Because clearly it's going to be like, well, ma'am, sir, please explain to us how Nancy's blood ended up in the wall in your garage. Because that's what we all want to know. You see what I'm saying? Because, you heard JLR say, ooh, poster board. It looked like a poster board that was brought out. What if it may be a poster board, but it may not be a poster board. It could be drywall. It could be sheetrock. It could be whatever, a piece of a wall for the, you know what I'm saying? We are all odd. Yes, we are. And that's what makes us all so beautiful. I approve this message. But think about that. What if it was a situation of cutting out the wall? But I feel like wouldn't they like cover it up? Like I might be debunking myself, right? But what if they were, I feel like they would cover that up or put it in some sort of plastic or something of that sort, right? They don't want to contaminate that. So maybe it is just poster board, you know? Again, they may have found nothing. But then again, they may have found something. I don't know. It seems so mother-loving odd. Now, here's the thing. If they found something, yeah, I feel like tomorrow things going to go off like a powder keg. Okay? Real talk. This could be bigger than the Super Bowl, all right? It may go off like that. You know what I'm saying? You never know. You never know. You're watching the game, and suddenly you just get an alert. It's like, oh my God, Pascal's. Wow, we're not watching the football. We're not watching the Super Bowl game anymore. Maybe an arrest happens tomorrow. You never know. You never know. So let us see what happens here. But this is going to be crazy. Did he put up another short? If he did put up another short, let me. Oops, I'm still here. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, guys. I meant to do that. I don't know what happened. I'm getting tired. I'm tired, baby. I'm tired. Doesn't look like there's a new one. Doesn't look like there's a new one. I just played one that was pretty brand new. Yeah, Holly, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Okay? Don't you dare. Okay? Yeah, the Super Bowl's tomorrow. Who you got? Patriots or Seahawks? I got Seahawks. I'll say it. And how many people are watching Bad Bunny shucking and jiving for the halftime show? And how many people are actually watching the TP USA halftime show? There will literally be a civil war tomorrow night for the Super Bowl. It's going to be insane. Lou, thank you so much for the love. No Bad Bunny tomorrow. That's what's up. That's fine. I mean, you do you, boo boo. Okay, you do you. If you don't want to watch Bad Bunny, it's okay. Hey, I ain't mad at you. If that's not your bag, baby, that's not your bag. Okay, I am not mad at nobody. No judgment here. It is what it is, right? But I have a feeling people are going to have both on at the same time because they want to see if Bad Bunny's performance is trash. They want to get an opportunity to see it so that they could say it's trash. But then they also want to see what the TPUSA event is going to look like so that they can also say that's trash if it is trash. You see what I'm saying? But they have both playing at the same damn time. I'm just saying that's probably what I'm going to be doing, to be honest, because I want to see what Bad Bunny does. But then I also am curious about what TPUSA is going to be bringing, you know? Well, we already know like Kid Rock and the typical things, right? But at the same time, like, let's be real, you know? New England Patriots, come on, girl. Come on, Holly. It's the New England Patriots. Come on. But I got the Seahawks for tomorrow. I usually go for the underdog all the time, but this year I'm going for Seahawks. Yeah. That's what I'm doing because I know that the Seahawks are not the underdog this year. But it'd just be nice to see another team win aside from the Patriots, if that makes any sense. So Seahawks all day long. We gonna see how it do. We gonna see how it do. Okay. Let's see. Hold on. Oh, wow. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Just checking a few things. What in the what? So, random breaking news. This has nothing to do with what's going on with the Nancy Guthrie thing. But if you've been following the Epstein files, this is a very interesting piece of information. So, breaking news. Someone found a document. I'm just reading this off screen. Someone found a document in the Epstein files that shows a press release from the government saying that J.E. Epi passed away on August 9th. We know that he was actually found on the 10th at 6:30 a.m. Now, CBS did a whole article about something that was left out of the original evidence. Now, new DOJ records show an orange figure heading towards Jeffrey Epstein's cell at 10:39 p.m. the night before his demise, even though officials said no one went in. FBI said it might have been an inmate. DOJ says maybe a guard. Guards skipped checks, and the night of his demise, cameras were off. It's looking like he escaped and the government was behind it. There's a whole photo out there that people are showing of like a Epstein looking guy, like with long hair. I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit more because I just got that info. I need to look into that. Okay. I just read it because I wanted to give you guys that info because we are keeping an eye on that too. And I haven't gotten a chance to do any coverage of that lately because this Nancy Guthrie thing has been taking up a lot of time and a lot of focus, understandably. But those files, oh my word, those files, we definitely need to talk about them for sure. But we will talk about them soon. Okay. But it's getting late. It is super late on a Saturday. Well, now it's a Sunday for me. Okay. So I'm going to turn in, but we will talk more tomorrow. Trust. We will probably be back bright and early to cover whatever's popping off tomorrow. Okay. This is just absolutely crazy, but that is the show. Thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of the conversation. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, because I know it's been a one hell of a ride this whole week, and the week ain't done yet. Okay. And tomorrow, Super Bowl Sunday, I'm really looking forward to like eating crappy food and a whole lot of wings and watching some mother loving foosball. Okay. But in the meantime, I'll be back up in the morning to talk about all this crazy mucking buck if the mucky muck starts popping off. I have a feeling it may pop off. But we'll talk about things and we'll do a recap and everything tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow morning. So please do me a favor, hit that like button down below, crush it, do it, do. If you're watching on these other platforms, make sure you're hitting that follow button. If you are watching on these other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, Rumble, Twitch, Kick, make sure you hit that follow button. Follow, please and thank you. Follow, all right? Subscribe here on my main channel. Go to my second channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Subscribe over there. Make sure you hit that notification button on both platforms so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because it is random. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. Support if you can. And, of course, check out PascalMerch.com. PascalMerch.com. We got some really, really great stuff over there. PascalMerch.com. Anyway, guys, I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. Unless nothing pops off, then sleep. And I will see you when things pop off. But I may see you guys first thing in the morning. And we'll talk then. All right? But anyway, until then, be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is the Pascal Show. Bye. Woo. Woo, I'm tired. Bye.